gives former President Trump a resounding victory. 67% of respondents giving the win to Mr. Trump, 33% to Mr. Biden, whose performance has many Democrats talking openly about the need to replace him as the presidential nominee. During last night's matchup, Mr. Biden accused Mr. Trump of stoking the flames of protest that led to the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
He encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill.
But the former president, who urged peaceful demonstrations and who offered thousands of National Guardsmen for Capitol security, says Mr. Biden is using January 6 to deflect attention away from his dismal record.
That what happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
Now that the debate is over, the presidential campaigns are hitting the road, as White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports from the debate city.
President Biden left Atlanta late last night and arrived in North Carolina early this morning. That's where he will rally voters in Raleigh. North Carolina is a battleground state where most polls show Donald Trump in the lead. Meanwhile, Trump will hold one of his signature campaign rallies in Chesapeake, Virginia this afternoon, making a play for a state that has not supported a Republican for president in 20 years. Greg Clugston, Atlanta.
One measure of inflation, closely watched by the Fed, shows upward pressure on prices continues to ease following 3+ years of ruinous inflation. Measured from a year earlier, prices up 2.6%, and that was slightly less than in April. Wall Street stock futures higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, it's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
A British-based firm is showing off an electric car battery that can go from 10% to 80% charged in less than 5 minutes.
Nyobolt described yesterday's test as a milestone for electrification, despite a few hitches caused by the hot weather, a car cooling system failure and an unfamiliar make of charger. Tesla's current superchargers take 15 to 20 minutes to achieve a similar result. It's hoped that improved superfast charging will relieve so-called range anxiety and bring the timing more in line with the time it takes to fill up a petrol or diesel tank with fuel. However, the superfast chargers the lithium-ion battery requires are not yet widely available.
The BBC's Zoe Kleinman. A German court has convicted a 15-year-old boy of plotting an Islamic terror attack on a Christmas market and has handed him a 4-year sentence. The Cologne State Court says the boy was convicted of conspiracy to murder and disturbing the public peace. News and analysis, townhall.com. One survivor of Florida's Parkland school massacre now legally owns the gunman's name.
Anthony Borges survived Nicholas Cruz's 2018 rampage at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, that left 17 dead. But he was one of the most severely wounded, shot 5 times in the back and legs. He's undergone more than a dozen surgeries, and at 21 years old, he still lives in pain. Now, under a recent lawsuit settlement, Anthony Borges owns Nicholas Cruz's name, meaning the shooter cannot benefit from or cooperate with any movies, TV shows, books, or other media productions without Borges' permission. I'm Ben Thomas.
Families of the 346 people who died in 2 crashes of Boeing 737 MAX jetliners are now waiting to hear if the U.S. Department of Justice will prosecute the U.S. aerospace giant. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, Whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes.
Made it to Friday.
I need more sound effects. I just realized the one sound effect I have basically sounds like, I'm ready to be checked in now. Order up.
Yeah, we need maybe the air horn.
One of those wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
The clickety-clack things.
Ooga, ooga, something, you know. Yeah.
Cowbell.
Chicken croak.
That's right. What I'm trying to say is I want to be a Foley artist.
That's right.
Just give me a bucket, like a tub full of wet sand and some boots.
Yeah. Glass.
A small door that's creaky.
Glass you can crack.
Yeah. A big, long sheet metal that I can make thunder sounds with.
The old wash basins. Yeah. But happy Friday.
Yes.
Welcome to it. It is the Friday before the 4th of July, big weekend Friday.
Yes.
And next week, of course, next Thursday, 4th of July. And then UFO Festival right on the heels of that, Friday through the weekend, next weekend. But, of course, big weekend still with lots of stuff going on, including the big the stuff going on tomorrow with Church on the Move, the Veterans Dinner, and drone show and fireworks show, and picnic that's going to be happening out at Cielo Grande tomorrow. So busy weekend nonetheless.
Tell your friends, tell your family to come out at about 3:15. Give me some time to get my food before you come out and get yours.
Get your brisket on.
I know it's only 3,000 people. I just want to make sure I'm one of the first, maybe grand, just to really ensure my spot.
That's right. Get you a good spot there. And then, of course, when the sun goes down, we'll be doing. Of course, we'll have the music and everything for you right here on 106.5 tomorrow. I got the music last night. I haven't listened to it or put it in yet, but for the show tomorrow. So we're getting ready to go for tomorrow with that, with Church on the Move.
This is a safe assumption. There's probably at least one piece of audio within that music that is a quote from Ronald Reagan.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's almost ubiquitous with like 4th of July audio. I've put in like 7 or 8 different shows, and they always have at least one Reagan quote in there.
Yeah, he's got a lot to quote from.
There's a lot of standards when it comes to firework display music.
Yes.
You got to have you have to have Lee Greenwood in there.
Yeah, that's kind of a staple.
Yeah.
Proud to be Americans.
Generally a Toby Keith somewhere in there.
Yeah.
American girls.
Yeah.
American boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Although the Lee Greenwood song, people are going to get mad. I'm not a fan.
Dude, it's not a song to be a fan of. I don't know anybody that's rocking Lee Greenwood like in their Spotify playlist.
Well, and I'll tell you why.
It's a song for a moment.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And it's because it was a certain point in my life, and I was just like, what is this? So back when I was in the military, and we were in Italy, and this was about the 4th or 5th month in Italy, when we were bombing Kosovo and everything, and we were kind of wrapping up. Matter of fact, I think I was getting ready to go to Germany like a week later or a couple days later. But while we're in Italy, they had one of those USO type concerts, and Lee Greenwood sang "Proud to be American," and everyone's crying like like their best pig just died, and I'm just like, and I know I'm gonna sound like some weird curmudgeon. I'm just like, come on,
I understand.
You're a bunch of grown people. We're here doing it, and you're crying over stupid. I don't know. People are like, you're a savage. I get it. You're emotional.
It's not even that.
I just like, come on, this is ridiculous.
It's very pandery.
Yes.
It's so pandery.
Yeah. And I was just off-putting by it. And I know some people, and God bless you, you love it. Awesome. It just seems so disingenuously stupid to me. But anyway.
But we digress. The music can be heard right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM.
And I'm not talking about the song in general, just that performance and the way everyone was acting was just like, this is just, it felt so, like, just.
You feel like this is how I don't know that this ever happened, but I've heard versions of the song, like when it was, performed in New Mexico. They'll shoehorn in the name of the place they're performing it. Like in my mind, I just imagine Lee Greenwood recorded like 50 versions of this song just to fit in the plains of New Mexico from sea to shining sea. All right, we got that one down. All right, the cornfields of Iowa. Just got to think of a thing in the state.
That's right.
The smells off New Jersey. See, now I'm getting real bit close to Springsteen.
Tony Soprano. In his gabagoo.
Wait on the gabagoo. I just thought that was Goombas like slang until the Sopranos came out. I'm like, what? That's a thing? I had to look it up.
Gabagoo.
It's what we call capicola.
Yeah. But the song is fine. It's just that particular. It just resonated wrong with me.
I recommend everybody. I'm not going to dwell on it, but I recommend everybody go to YouTube and just type in Bo Burnham pandering.
Okay.
It's a country song that Bo Burnham does, and it basically explains how most country music is like rural noun, simple verb.
Yeah, I love when people break down, and then you're like, yeah, that pretty much covers an entire
a warm
genre.
Night, a cold beer,
To me, that's no different than when, what's his name? Oh, shoot, now his name went right out of my head. The comedian from Half Baked and
Harlan Williams?
No. Saturday Night Live.
Jim Brewer?
Goat Board. Jim Brewer, thank you. When it's like Jim Brewer does that bit where he just pretty much imitates various 80s metal rock bands. I mean, it's the same thing, and he nails it. I mean, when he deals Metallica and AC/DC, and I think there's one or two others in there that he nails it. It's the same thing.
He had a bit. I don't know if this was a stand-up bit or if he just talked about it on Opie and Anthony, where he said he used to lock himself in the basement of his house when he was a kid and just put on concerts for himself. Just like rocking out to Judas Priest and stuff.
Well, and I saw him do stand-up. He opened for Metallica and did stand-up, and he was brilliant. He was great. I enjoyed it way better than some band I never heard of played before him. And he kind of nailed it, too. He goes, I know all you old school Metallica fans, you're up top here sitting in the chair. You used to be down here in the mosh pit. Now you're up here.
It's because of that mosh pit that we're up there.
Right.
Sitting in those chairs. We messed up our knees.
That's where I was sitting.
I feel called out.
Let me give you the rundown. We're going to chit-chat this hour. We're going to replay some interviews later, but I figured with the debate last night, which I watched, and I got thoughts.
I did watch.
You did? I got thoughts.
I have a couple.
And so I figure we'll talk about that and talk just whatever here for this hour. Next hour, we're going to replay our interview with Justin Dominguez from the DA's office. He's lead investigator there. And then I figured since tomorrow is the big day with Church on the Move, I'll play our interview one more time with Sean had with Pastor Troy.
If tomorrow all the things... Sorry.
Talk about Veterans Dinner and the drone show, fireworks show out at Cielo Grande tomorrow. So we'll play that around 9 o'clock. So, but yeah, we'll chit-chat. I watched the debate last night and everything else, and have since read. And to be honest, I just pretty much watched the debate last night, and that was it. I didn't watch the the pundits, pundit, and do all that. I did get on the Twitters this morning.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, well, I wanted to see what people were reacting, and I did. And so I'll talk all about that this hour.
All right.
That'll be. It's kind of funny. It's just, I don't know. I initially I watched it, and I was like, it was about what I expected it to be. And then I read what the world thought of it afterwards. I'm like, oh man. I don't know. I'm surprised and I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not surprised at what I saw. I'm a little surprised at the reaction, to be honest. So, but anyway, we'll talk about that this hour. So, it is 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather. I see sunshine and I see rain. Got a little bit of everything, a lot of hot. So here's your weather.
Weather is brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control, pest management for all of southeast New Mexico. Bob Reed Pest Control. No job is too large or too small. Call today from anywhere in southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Just a slim chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm today. Our highs 100 to 105. Overnight, a few clouds, and we're in the upper 70s. About the same for Saturday, just isolated afternoon showers and thunderstorms going up to about 100 again, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Then some scattered showers rolling through on Saturday night, sunny and slightly cooler on Sunday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 81 degrees already here in Roswell. Golly. I know it's going to be this hot thing, and I get it. It's hot. But it should not be 80 degrees at 7 in the morning. That's just not right. 81 and a few clouds here in Roswell. Humidity is at 47% with winds calm at the moment. There is a 20% chance at some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. They're talking after 3 today. Mostly sunny otherwise, and a high of 104. South winds today at around 5 miles per hour. They do say they'll shift to the northwest later this afternoon. Tonight we're also looking at a 20% chance at showers before 9 p.m., mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 77 degrees with west winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your Saturday, there is a 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Mostly sunny and a high of 103 tomorrow. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow night, we're looking at a 30% chance at scattered showers and thunderstorms before midnight. Mostly cloudy, 76 for an overnight low. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny, hot, 98 for a high. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Monday, sunny and 101 for a high. And then rain chances enter the forecast once again Tuesday, and they carry really through Independence Day. There's like 20-30% chances of rain. Looks like every day next week, beginning Tuesday. So we'll see. Of course, there's some time between now and then to change all that. All right, it is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and pause for about a 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll chit-chat on the other side. We'll talk about the debate last night and all the reaction to that. So don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Church on the Move invites the community to celebrate One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. The celebration begins at 3 p.m., where the first 3,000 people will be treated to a festive picnic with mouthwatering brisket, sausage, and sides. Then, when the sun goes down, get ready to look up for the biggest drone show in Roswell's history, along with a bigger, better fireworks display to light up the night sky. Best of all, it's absolutely free. Celebrate America with Church on the Move and One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. See you there.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal opportunity employer.
I was driving home from work.
I was heading out to meet my friends.
I was thinking about what I would make for dinner.
I was just changing the station on my radio.
I was checking my cell phone.
I was only trying to change lanes.
I never saw him.
Never saw him.
I never saw that motorcycle.
Until it was too late.
Unfortunately, sometimes drivers don't notice motorcycles on the road until it's too late. Be aware. Always look for motorcycles, because it's their road too.
Sponsored by NMDOT and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and this station.
When others say no, Roswell Hyundai says
yes.
The bank manager is at Roswell Hyundai for a short time to say yes. No social security number or ITIN number?
Yes.
No driver's license?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Roswell Hyundai says
yes.
If you have a job that earns at least $12 an hour, Roswell Hyundai wants to say
yes.
Roswell Hyundai wants 100% approval, which means they want to say
yes
to you.
Yes.
Get zero down, zero payments till fall, plus up to $4,000 more for your trade.
Yes.
On now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Yes!
The Sermon on the Mount begins with what is often called the Beatitudes, or maybe another way to say it, the supreme blessings. The blessings that give the true path to God. Jesus takes the human concept of happiness and turns it upside down. The ultimate goal in life is not just the pursuit of happiness, it's the pursuit of God's rule. The first Beatitude reads, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Let's first talk about what poor in spirit is not. It has nothing to do with physical poverty. It has nothing to do with being sad or depressed. The person who is poor in spirit recognizes their spiritual poverty and recognizes that they must fully rely on God. It's a state of humility in the realization of the sinful state and complete dependence on the good grace of God. Isn't it a relief to know that we don't have to rely on our own strength, but can fully rely on the strength of our God?
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock. Happy Friday, everybody. So last night was the big debate on CNN and everything. I was like, oh, well, let me go, because I was thinking, I was like, I haven't watched CNN in a while. I usually don't. I kind of thumb through. I don't really pay much attention to those channels, to be honest. But I was like, oh, I'll get, and then I realized it was on like every single channel everywhere. I was like, oh, well, what's on regular TV? See if I need to record anything, because my wife and I still watch things on regular TV, and unlike most people. And I was like, well, I guess there's nothing to record tonight because every single network and everything's showing the debate. So I was like, all right, good deal. I guess I have no problem finding the debate on TV tonight. So, but I did watch the debate. I didn't tune into the 3 hours of pre-gaming that most of the networks, or not network, or even the networks were showing an hour of it before the debate last night. I don't tune into that stuff. I went straight for watching reruns of Big Bang Theory for an hour before I was like, I don't need to tell people to tell me what to think to watch when I watch tonight. I'll watch it and come with my own opinions. They'll be happy to tell you, of course, but I generally stay tuned out of that. So I watched the debate last night, and I watched it, sat there, watched it, like most people, just sat there and watched it, got my thing.
Greg checking on the chat real quick. He said, watching the debate was like watching an episode of Pinky and the Brain. I'd say it was like watching an episode of Pinky and Pinky.
And so, I don't know. I guess watching it, yes, all Joe Biden being Joe Biden. I just, I guess to me is I've just seen so many clips of him being, out of it, that when I watched it last night, and yes, I there was parts where I'm like, what's he saying? I can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then when he is saying, you're like, what is he saying?
You can't just trail off conversation in a debate.
Yeah, and then literally just stop in the middle of it, and you're like, is he done talking? Right. I guess he's done talking. I just seen that so much that I was like, well, what did you guys expect? That's what it happens every time he's on. And then to be honest, I didn't really pay attention to the after spiel. I looked this morning, and everybody, even like CNN and Anderson Cooper and those guys they can't defend that. Like they're literally like, I saw Anderson Cooper interviewing I think it was Kamala Harris, and they're like, and he's literally like, did you not see what was going on there? And how can you? And of course they're giving theirs. I thought it was fine, kind of. And even Anderson Cooper, like, you realize he's not fine.
One thing is for sure, despite everybody's assumptions, I'm about 98% sure that Joe Biden was not on performance-enhancing drugs last night.
To be honest, he may have been.
He should have been.
Well, that may be the better one. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty much in Camp David, out of the public eye for the last week, getting ready for this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they were doing whatever it is, including, vitamins, drugs, whatever regime they're putting into him to get him to be, coherent or whatever.
The one thing that the Biden camp needs to address right away is get your boy trained on what to do with his face when he's not talking. I'm going to start using Biden reaction faces just at random times.
I at this point, I feel like at this point it's cruel and unusual punishment. Like I'm like, at what point do you let this man he's clearly not healthy enough to do this job. But let this man retire, be with his kids. I almost wonder, like, everybody in his corner's propping him up and putting him. I would even venture a guess that his own family, for the sake of keeping themselves relevant in the media and whatever, are literally propping him up because he has no business doing. He needs to be retired. He needs to be home with his grandkids, sitting on the porch, enjoying life as a elderly man. That's what he should be doing. He has no business running this country.
There were some moments of semi-clarity last night. Specifically, like when Biden was addressing the comment about the troops, being, losers and all that, and him getting passionate about my son's not a loser, and Trump saying that wasn't an actual quote when there's literal video footage of him using that quote. So it's just there were some parts that it was just like, okay, you're clear. This is a clear mistruth.
Well, and this is where I get upset because we're talking about leader of the United States of America. We should not be having any debate in a public thing when we're trying to decide who should be our country, when half of the conversation is you're talking about my son. I was like, what does any of this got to do with running our country?
Right. At one point, they were talking about having a driving range contest.
Yeah.
Who could whack the ball further.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, what are we doing here? They're talking about who's the better golfer, and just like, it's like, this is the part of the debate that needs to go away.
Right.
Why are we? I wish I was not on the radio because I'd say whatever. Why are we in a blank waving contest here, which is basically what they're doing? And I'm like, this does not tell me who should be our president.
I'll be honest.
And that's on us, the media, and everyone else for not holding that.
And this is something that I said a while back. I said, this is too early for a debate. We're too early into the process. I mean, we could have waited a few weeks before we had our first debate.
Well,
I know
said this is the
CNN
earliest.
was desperate to pop a rating. I get that.
Oh, and people have been wanting this, and because at this point, politics is a sport. It's not life decisions anymore. At least it is life decisions, but we treat it like it's a pay-per-view NFL or MMA fight.
Right. This is probably, I will say this was last night was probably the last time that many people had a CNN logo at the bottom of their screen since the last presidential election.
And in all things, as far as the debate goes, it wasn't bad. I mean, to be honest, Donald Trump, I thought was pretty well behaved. He didn't go crazy like the last election where he was yelling and screaming and ranting. He kind of let Joe be Joe and didn't say too much. There was one time where Donald Trump said something like, I don't understand what he said at the end there, and I don't think he did either. Yeah, and to be honest, he wasn't wrong there.
That was the comment where he was talking about Medicaid, and it somehow came out as COVID.
Yeah, was that the part where he was talking about
and he starts trailing off?
About sisters raping you or something? Or
No.
There was something about your family raping you in there too. I don't remember, but I missed that part. But yeah, he was all over the place.
I did watch this morning when I woke up. The Daily Show. Jon Stewart did a breakdown of it, and it got to the part where they were talking about abortions, and he's like, "Oh, abortion! This is our strong suit." And then it cuts to the clip where Biden immediately takes it from a conversation about abortion to a conversation about civil rights, and it's like, "What are you doing? That was a softball lob. You could have done a soft 5 minutes on that topic, but you immediately switched it over to civil rights."
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
Well,
it was kind of frustrating.
I truly think the Democrats right now are sitting there thinking, I don't know if we can put this man. I don't think we'll get him through the presidency, let alone. I mean, you hear all the people talking about the game plan is the 25th Amendment, the setup, and this is the bait and switch and all. And I got to be honest. I don't. After seeing the way if last night's the best Joe Biden we got, I don't see him making it through I was worried he wouldn't make it through the debate, let alone through a presidential campaign, let alone 4 more years as president. I honestly, because even his voice was shaky, like he wasn't healthy. And I was listening to the first couple, and I was like, we got another hour and a half of this. He could barely talk in the first 5 minutes.
You know when I knew that he was in trouble?
He's got to do visual. Yeah, he was doing the robot.
The robot walked to the podium. Like his fingers were so close together, he looked like he was a robot.
It's and I know we're all talking about this, but to me, I'm just seeing all this as it's sad. It's really a man that is in a point in his life where he shouldn't be doing this anymore, and his family, to me, are exploiting this. Should be the ones that are protecting him and telling him he needs to take care of him at this point. That's where I'm at this point, politically, whatever. Think what you want, do what you want. I see a human being that should not be doing this job. Right. I see a human being that should be dealt with and needs to be taken care of medically and not be leader of the free world. That's what I saw last night.
What is the protocol if that happens before an election? Like, does he just get replaced by his?
Well, he's got his running
mate.
Yeah, I'm assuming, unless of course, I guess. See, and I don't even know. And I'm not a political expert, but a lot of primaries and things have already happened. He's on the ballot,
right,
to put in someone else, I guess, unless he physically drops dead. I don't know if there's much you can do about it. I don't know. I don't know if the vice president just takes over as the president and continues the campaign, or do they bring in Gavin Newsom or someone?
This is all uncharted ground.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I honestly, especially after last night, I don't even know if he's going to make it to November.
It's amazing how much the word unprecedented has been tossed around over the last year.
Yeah.
Just because it is. It's also, we've never dealt with any of this before.
Yeah. Well, and the part that and this is the part that's shocking me the most, to be honest. And the only reason it's shocking me because this is the part I see every day on social media, and I'm not seeing it today, and it's like I don't know what to do with my hands because of this. This is the first time I've ever, and I've only spent an hour on it, but like I figured I'd see, but I literally go on my Twitter, and now my Twitter, and I get it. Sorry, X, whatever you want to call it.
Because you felt I was about to do that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You could feel it.
Yeah. It's, I kind of follow a hodgepodge. I mean, I've got the Washington Post. So I really have a mix of liberal and conservative people that show up on my feed.
Right.
So I kind of get, I kind of do get a good yin and yang on that.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning I went through, and there is no one that I saw defending what they saw last night as anything other than,
Yeah.
I mean, even like the people that are generally loudmouth liberals were quietly in the corner not saying a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And to me, I'm like, whoa, this, when it's, and part of me is like, why did last night just, I've been seeing, haven't we not all been seeing this for months? I mean, have people been so secluded? I mean, and granted, I live in a conservative talk world. I hear on the radio, I turn on Sean Hannity every day, and at 1 o'clock, he's playing clip after clip of Biden miscues and slip ups. So I hear it all the time. And so I just think everyone thinks that way, but maybe I'm wrong.
Am I Pavlovially trained that every time I hear a Biden gaffe, I want to hear, "Well, we're coming to your city." Every time I hear Biden screw up, I want to hear.
I was half waiting for Hannity's theme song to kick in. but yeah, and so part of me is thinking, part of me, I guess, was in that space is like, y'all didn't know this, but I guess maybe the people that were so buried in the sand and go this to their own. Yeah. Everyone kind of gets dyed in their own teams there and kind of put the blinders on, and maybe they just had the blinders on until last night, and they finally said it. Like, oh, Joe's not in good health.
I just feel like the entire team was like in a room somewhere, like in a just ready to watch the debate. They turn it on, and their faces go, just that slow fade from a smile to a frown.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh no,
yeah,
this is him at his best.
Yeah. I mean, I got a feeling that, and I don't know. I just think a bunch of Democrats finally said, "Oh, maybe our guy isn't as healthy as we thought." I don't know. It's just like they finally saw it or something, or it happened so blatant that they couldn't even spin this one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Either way, can we at some point after this election cycle, after the dust is settled, can we please establish a maximum age to run for president? Please.
Right, there's a couple things.
We need something in place to say, if you're 80, you can't run for president.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is it's another one of those examples of what people in other countries show their families and be like, haha, Americans are stupid. It's a blight.
Yeah.
Well,
and I did actually, speaking of what you said about that, there was one of those things I saw on X was basically someone said, I want to hear from people outside the United States that watched the debate what they thought, and I was reading some of the comments, and of course there's always knucklehead comments.
Yeah.
You turn anything over to the public, and the public will show you how stupid they are. But there was some golden nuggets in between of people legitimately talking, and they're from various parts, and a lot of them were saying kind of, our image of your country was this and this beacon of light, and we're seeing that it looks like the fall of Rome now. That was kind of a consensus from outside looking in, and I'm like, you know what? I could see where they're coming from because that's kind of how it feels from my perspective too. But I don't know. To me, it seems like a lot of people's eyes were opened about the true condition of our president, and it shocks me that this many people didn't realize it. And I'm like, all I've been hearing for the last 2 years is how unequipped he is for this job, and now you're seeing that firsthand, and people are kind of like finally saying, "Oh yeah, he doesn't look too good."
Greg in the chat said, It was like watching two old guys eat alphabet soup and look at each other and say, "Look what I just spelled."
Yeah. And to be honest, I think Trump was really trying to be an adult in the room that last night. Yeah. And I thought he did a pretty good job.
It was a different Trump that I'm used to seeing.
Well, and sure. I think he knew. It's like, I don't have to do anything. I just have to shut up and let him go. Mm-hmm. And the rest will take care of itself. And that's what kind of happened last night.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Trump had to barely minimally say something to goad the thing. Once in a while, like I said, once in a while, I don't even know what he said at that point, in a couple. But there was like one point, and I was waiting for Trump to die. Like, there's a point where Joe Biden was talking, and he just stopped and just did one of your stares. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, and there was a full like 20 seconds of dead air because they're like, is he done talking? Mm-hmm. Or are we? And then finally Trump talked, and he just went on talking like, did you not? And it was almost like, yeah, we're just going to ignore that. We all just sat and he stared blankly for 20 seconds. And to Trump's credit, I was like, he handled that classy compared to how he could have cut in there, because at that point, if you start dogging on him, you're just giving him sympathy, right? Because it looks like you're being a bully.
You're abusing an old man.
And he knew when to back off there.
If you would have paid a little closer attention, you would have noticed that at that point, look at his forehead. He was buffering.
He had
the little spinning circle.
That's what it seemed like. It looked like the video froze for a minute. Yeah, and so I guess what happened last night is what I thought people thought all along that I guess I'm wrong on. That the world realized that this man should not be president. He's clearly not in a healthy enough condition to run this country.
Do you think that Biden went to the Mark Levin School of dramatic pauses?
Yeah, it was that. We joke. This is inside baseball here at our
if you've ever listened to the Mark Levin show,
which is on starting at 4 p.m. weekdays right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM.
He has this tendency to get really, really like revved up and hyped up.
Yeah.
And then just stop talking for like 15, 20 seconds. To the point where Mike, when he's sitting here with me, we'll like check the board to make sure we didn't just lose signal or something.
Internet didn't die or something. Yeah. Yeah, because he'll be like, I'm tired of all this. And another thing. And you're like, what happened?
That was 4 seconds, and that was still so uncomfortable for me.
That's exactly what he does, and it drives. Rush also did that too.
Yeah.
And Rush talked about it. Like he said, like there's something of the pregnant pause can be your best friend, because especially on talk radio, it's like, how do you attract the most attention? Just shut up for a minute. Everyone starts paying attention when it's like, wait a minute, there's supposed to be noise right now. Why is there not noise?
Right.
And he ain't wrong on that, but Rush was also notorious. He would like, and also in the news, we went to the. Why did you stop?
But see, even usually when he did that, you'd hear the stacking of papers or something in the background.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, and it just like that would infuriate me, because as a person thinking that we're having dead air. Mm-hmm. But anyway, point was debate. I thought it was what I thought it was. I came on, and to be honest, like my shock is that most people were shocked that he was as unfit as he seemed to be. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm just shocked that people are shocked that that's what happened. I'm like, have you not seen in the news for the last 2 years what we've been seeing?
But that was just little, short stints. If you look back to the State of the Union, which was just a few months ago, he was incredibly coherent. He was pretty sharp and on the ball.
Yeah, although he seemed like
for
somebody
the most part
pulled the string and just let it go.
But something has happened between then and now. And I'm wondering if it's like, see, my thought was everybody was saying, watch, he'll be on some type of stimulant. He'll be on some type of something. And I think that to avoid any of those accusations, they just didn't do that this time.
Well, and that's what he looked like at the State of the Union address. It looked like they put him up, they gave him a couple lines of cocaine and said, go. And he's like, I'm ready, but let's do this. You almost like, I need TP for my bunghole, and he put his thing over his head and running around the plane.
That's Biden Holio. Corn Holy Joe.
I mean, he was like that during the State of the Union. So, we thought we were going to see that Joe. You know, it's like where I come from, my people have no bungalow.
I was waiting for him to break out dog-faced pony soldier.
I did hear malarkey once or twice.
Yeah.
I based on the bingo and drinking games I saw, I don't know if people got too sloshed last night. You know, unless you went with an has moment of incoherence, then you're sloshed. But if you're just looking for catchphrases, I don't even think he remembers them anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, but if Biden stumbles over speech was your trigger, you got messed up.
You called in sick to work this morning. Someone's hungover. It is 7:45. I guess we should play some news and some more commercials and stuff. But that's kind of pretty much. I'm curious to see what happens next.
I kind of feel bad for the pundits out there, for the talkers today, because they're not really going to have a lot to say
other than this.
Well, the Biden incoherence and all that, but I mean, it was a very uneventful.
Well, and that's just
situation.
Like, at least during like most debates, when you're done, you could debate whatever policy they talked about. Can we do that after this one? I don't even know like what policy was really said other than a bunch of just stuff.
It was after the first question.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my God, there's still 86 minutes of this." Because Biden, the faces that Biden was making, it almost looked like he saw he was hallucinating and saw his son.
Yeah.
To show up on stage. Or at one point, it was just Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda just standing there in ghost form on the side of the stage.
Right? I mean, the empty heads are going to be like, I think Biden could kick him on the golf course. You know, I mean, that's really, the policy was barely talked about. It was just a bunch of, whatever. It's just, I don't think I learned anything last night other than what I knew, and now apparently people have blinders on and didn't realize how bad he was, or they're just claiming, well, but what? I'm surprised. But
yeah.
Okay.
Still got about
I don't see how
7 more months of this.
I think it's going to get crazier, folks. I don't see him making it to November. I just don't see it.
To any Secret Service that are listening, the views expressed by Mike Winters do not reflect those of Pecos.
I'm not talking about like. I don't think.
I know what you mean.
He's healthy enough to make it to November.
But
I don't think he is. You know, I don't think someone's going to do something. I don't think he's got the stamina to make it. You know, and I don't think he should be there now. I think he should be home, retired with his grandkids. You know, by the lake, and you know, telling his stories, his lines, and everything else to his grandkids. Be off to that.
I got real hairy legs.
I invented the blow pop.
The minnows love swimming up and nibbling on my leg hairs.
I met Bazooka Joe when
I was Tonto.
7:47. Let's do weather and some commercials. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. I built Mount Rushmore.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Cirillo. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following. A portion of West College Boulevard in Roswell, next to the Cielo Grande Recreation Area, is scheduled to be closed. There's a fireworks, drone, and laser light show Saturday night. West College will be closed to traffic between Nevada Avenue and the east entrance to the recreation area starting at 9:30 p.m. At the conclusion of the show, police will be helping to direct traffic as people exit the event. Also in Roswell, a reveal date for the Roswell Rocket at the UFO Festival in downtown Roswell. Save the date for July 5th at 8:30 p.m. near the corner of 4th and Main Streets. The original rocket was taken down due to some safety concerns, but has since been rehabbed and is ready to be revealed. Once again, on July 5th, 8:30 p.m., near the corner of 4th and Main Streets in Roswell. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
The first thing we do in a rental car is pair up our phone for directions, calls, and music. But there is a privacy risk if you don't take this very important step. I'm Kim Commando for StartMail. Tired of big tech tracking your email? Get a 7-day free trial and 50% off at startmail.com/Kim. Before returning a rental car, you need to remove your phone from the paired devices. Your phone transfers all sorts of data to the car: contacts, call logs, text messages, even your navigation history. All that personal info just sits there unless you delete it. Here's how. In the car's infotainment system, head into the car's Bluetooth settings. Remove your phone from the list of paired devices. This way, your contacts, call history, and other personal data won't be left for the next renter to see, or who knows who else. If you really want to play it safe, do a complete factory reset on the car's infotainment system. This wipes everything clean, any sensitive info that you've shared. Get Tech Smart the easy way with my free newsletter at getkim.com. Big Tech is taking over everything, and that includes your email too. They're constantly trying to track us and what we see in our inboxes. The good news is that you can take back control if you know about the right tools. Start Mail is the easy-to-use alternative to Big Tech email. It was built entirely with your privacy in mind and includes features like unlimited disposable email aliases. You can use them for anything, from selling stuff online to accessing coupon codes. Worried about moving from the account that you've had forever? Don't be. StartMail's email and contact migration tool makes switching email providers simple. With just a few clicks, you can transfer all of your important info to your new StartMail account. Protect your email from advertisers, government surveillance, and spam right now. Go to startmail.com/Kim for a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first year. Now, including a business plan. StartMail with a T. That's startmail.com/Kim. You need to check this out right now. Startmail.com/Kim. Startmail.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Just a slim chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm today. Our highs 100 to 105. Overnight, a few clouds, and we're in the upper 70s. About the same for Saturday. Just isolated afternoon showers and thunderstorms going up to about 100 again, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Then some scattered showers rolling through on Saturday night. Sunny and slightly cooler on Sunday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Investors watching the first live debate of the 2024 election race on Thursday were hoping to hear President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump argue thoughtful positions on fiscal policy, tariffs, and taxes, while closely monitoring their mental acuity. Many on Wall Street were looking for the aging candidates to prove they are sharp enough for 4 years in the White House. The National Transportation Safety Board sanctioned Boeing on Thursday for disclosing non-public details on an investigation into a 737 MAX 9 door plug that blew off during an Alaska Airlines flight in January. Walgreens cut its profit forecast for fiscal 2024 and said it would close more underperforming U.S. stores. Cheerios cereal maker General Mills forecast annual profit below estimates and posted a bigger-than-expected drop in quarterly sales, hurt by lower demand for its snack bars and pet food. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Church on the Move invites veterans and their families to a free dinner this Saturday at Church on the Move, 901 West Brasher. Beginning at 5, veterans, along with 3 guests, will be treated to a steak dinner, as well as entertainment by guest speaker Chad Robichaud, a Marine Corps veteran and JSOC operator, as well as Christian country artist Rhett Walker. Please join Church on the Move for an evening filled with gratitude, camaraderie, and the celebration of the brave men and women who selflessly served our country. Saturday, 5 p.m. at Church on the Move, 901 West Brasher in Roswell.
Calling all men. June is Men's Health Month, and Artesia General Hospital wants you to step up and take care of your health. Every year, thousands of men in the U.S. die from preventable diseases. Take control of your health today and schedule a visit before something is wrong. Artesia General Hospital has specialists in a variety of men's health disciplines, but your primary care provider is the best place to start. Take your health seriously for yourself and for your loved ones. Visit artesiageneral.com/men's health or call 575-746-3119.
The 2024 UFO Festival, Roswell, New Mexico. Explore, engage, and encounter the extraordinary. Check out the Galacticon, celebrity artists, UFOologists, a cosplay costume contest with cash prizes, escape rooms, and the incredible Galactic Water Park and Playground. Music, entertainment, the Roswell Incident, and Downtown Alien Fest. The Roswell UFO Festival, July 5th through the 7th, where the unexpected becomes the unforgettable. Paid for in part by City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
The Sermon on the Mount begins with what is often called the Beatitudes, or maybe another way to say it, the supreme blessings. The blessings that give the true path to God. Jesus takes the human concept of happiness and turns it upside down. The ultimate goal in life is not just the pursuit of happiness, it's the pursuit of God's rule. The first Beatitude reads, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Let's first talk about what poor in spirit is not. It has nothing to do with physical poverty. It has nothing to do with being sad or depressed. The person who is poor in spirit recognizes their spiritual poverty and recognizes that they must fully rely on God. It's a state of humility in the realization of the sinful state and complete dependence on the good grace of God. Isn't it a relief to know that we don't have to rely on our own strength, but can fully rely on the strength of our God?
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:55. Got a few minutes here before we get to the top of the hour news. We just talked for the last 30 minutes or so about debate and stuff. If you want to check out that, I invite you to go back and listen to that if you want to. Moving on now for the moment to something equally less important. Just kidding. So I think I've got a new favorite X wormhole. It probably starts on TikTok, but there is a guy that has a Twitter page, X page. It's called Chef Reactions, and it's this guy who's a chef, and in all of his videos, it's a side by side of him watching these quote unquote cooking videos on social media and giving commentary to them. And it's become my new favorite wormhole to go down.
See,
because, and to be honest, like, he'll go and he'll watch these. Most of them are abominations, but not all of them are. And he actually gives props when the abomination's not as an abomination. Like, sometimes he'll have, like, there's a grandma making spaghetti or something, and he like, oh, this is spot on. It was like, I'd eat that all day. This is amazing. But like. And then there are other ones where people take like the gut bombs of garbage and dump it into a pan and then put it in an oven.
So what happened is the algorithm picked up that you like watching these abomination cooking videos. They said, let's add a layer to it to keep you addicted.
Well, they got me.
Boy, they are good at peddling that drug, man.
They got me, man.
They did. I watched one yesterday that I literally wanted to throw up after I saw it.
Yeah.
This woman took, and it might have even been something, I think this is one we've talked about. This woman took an entire thing of cheese balls and basically turned it in and then added American cheese to it. And it was.
She made mac and cheese with it or something?
Yeah, it was like a casserole thing. I was just, I'm floored.
Well, the one I just saw was, and it's a chef reaction video with the guy watching the video.
Right.
It's where someone made mashed potatoes out of Pringles.
I've seen that, yeah.
Oh, he lambasted that one. He goes, at this point, just make mashed potatoes.
Right.
This is the dumbest thing.
It does take a lot of work to unchip a Pringle and turn it into mashed potatoes.
But they're not even potatoes to begin with, are they?
But that's the concept, is they're actually made from basically potato flakes.
Yeah.
They're a formed crisp that's made from
That's why they're not allowed
potato.
to call them potato chips.
Right.
Like, they got sued. Pringles got sued. Like, Big Chip.
Big Chip
came in and said, those aren't chips. So that's why when you look at Pringles, they're called crisps. They're not allowed to call them chips.
Big Daddy Frito came in and put down his fist.
Yeah, but he lambasted it. But it just, I don't know, the way he reacts just makes me laugh, and it's just like, and he goes, I know a lot of people call me haters, but this is bad. You know, but I like the fact that it's not that he's against it's just, why are you creating a shortcut that's really not a shortcut? It's really making it a lesser product, and it's equal or more work than just getting the product.
But the answer to that question is for your views. That's why they do it, because they know you're watching.
Well, I think this guy's a savior out there saying, please, for the love of God, do not make these recipes that these people have got. And he calls out the ones like that are dragging it out. And he's like, come on, did you just stir the stupid thing?
I don't know if the guy's still making TikToks, but back in the day, there was this guy who his whole thing was, he was like he was a black guy, and he would dress up like an old black man, and he would look at things through the blinds.
Yeah.
And it was usually these abomination cooking. Like there was one where a woman was making something in her toilet or something like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, watch this. Like
It's kind of like the guy standing at the gym looking around, cutting to different spots of people.
They've done that a couple of. I saw one in Home Depot. Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah.
But basically the same thing, like looking around at all the OSHA violations.
Yeah, it's turned into those. Yeah, and then of course
usually
there's
to the do ba do ba do ba do.
And then the more offensive but equally funny, the one with the little people working out and then showing them the shoelaces.
Yeah, the shoelaces.
Yeah. All right. On that note, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KTND Roswell.
.com. I'm Rich Thomason. There are calls within Democrat ranks for President Biden to abandon his re-election bid following last night's debate. The 81-year-old Biden appeared to totally lose his train of thought at times. His answers tough to follow, in some cases rambling. The political world chiming in on Mr. Biden's frail appearance. A CNN instant poll of debate watchers indicated that Donald Trump won the night by 67% to 37%. On the Salem Media Group News Magazine this week on the Hill, U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson agrees.
Yeah, let's choose our metaphors. I'd call it a 5-alarm fire. It really is. That was the biggest mismatch in the history of presidential debates, and it was watched in huge numbers by the American people. And now they're having to acknowledge the objective truth. There was only one man on that stage who is capable and qualified of serving as our next president, and that's Donald Trump.
Speaker Johnson adds that, in his words, November cannot get here soon enough. The complete interview will air on Salem's This Week on the Hill Saturday on radio stations nationwide and on the Salem News Channel. Abortion among the issues debated last night. White House correspondent Greg Clugston in Atlanta.
The president pledged to restore Roe v. Wade if re-elected, while Trump argued against the nationwide constitutional right to abortion.
We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years.
Asked about abortion pills, Trump said that he wouldn't block the medications. Greg Clugston at the CNN presidential debate in Atlanta.
The U.S. Supreme Court preparing to release more opinions this hour. Still outstanding, a case involving presidential immunity, a case involving former President Trump. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 100 points, and NASDAQ ahead 91. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Bolivia's president denies allegations of orchestrating a failed coup led by the country's former army chief.
Shortly before he was arrested on Wednesday, General Zuniga told reporters he'd been ordered to stage the uprising by the president, who the military chief said had wanted to boost his popularity and appear as a strongman. President Arce denies this, but General Zuniga's exact motives for taking troops into the center of La Paz are unclear. The general said he wanted to create real democracy, but had been dismissed earlier in the week after saying he would not allow the former left-wing leader, Evo Morales, to return to power in Bolivia. So far, 17 people have been arrested, accused of involvement in the plot.
The BBC's Warren Bull. Philippine troops have killed at least 10 suspected communist guerrillas in a clash in a remote northern area, in the latest blow to a decades-old insurgency that has weakened considerably in recent years. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Supreme Court puts the EPA's air pollution-fighting Good Neighbor plan on hold while legal challenges continue.
The rule is intended to restrict smokestack emissions from power plants and other industrial sources that burden downwind areas with smog-causing pollution. Among those challenging the rule, the energy-producing states of Ohio, Indiana, and West Virginia. The justices rejected arguments by the Biden administration and Democratic-controlled states that the plan was cutting air pollution and saving lives in 11 states. The regulation will remain on hold for now, pending a ruling from a federal appeals court. Bob Agnew reporting.
Members of a Utah church youth group, about 50 young people in all, were hiking when a lightning bolt struck near them yesterday afternoon, close enough that 7 youngsters had to be taken to a hospital, none of the injuries life-threatening. This happened about 100 miles south of Salt Lake City. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Indeed.
Hope your Friday's going well. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Not raining?
Nope.
Not yet.
And little cloud cover actually keeping things semi-cool.
Yeah. It's supposed to get
coolish.
104 today.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, I got, of course, busy weekend. Church on the Move's got the big Veterans Dinner and Independence celebration. Tomorrow evening out at Cielo Grande for the Independence celebration. Out at Church on the Move, beginning at 5 p.m. For the Veterans Dinner.
I'm just going to throw this out there. If a veteran would like to go to the dinner, pick up an extra steak dinner, and bring it out to Mike, who's going to be working hard at Cielo Grande, he would appreciate it. He's not going to say it. I'll say it for him.
Yeah. Then watches all the people stare at me while I eat the steak.
It's all right. I'm going to make full use of that lucha mask this weekend. Go through and get my barbecue twice.
Nice.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Bien. Barbecue, huh? Right. I don't know why I use that accent.
It's like that was one of the Impractical Joker bits. Was one of they were at some, I guess it's some like hotel seminar thing or something. And so when they come out of the seminar, they have to check in to get their check or get their whatever it is they're supposed to do. And so the bit is they each come out in various costumes trying to fool the person into not recognize them as the same person.
Right.
And so that's literally what you're talking about there. They're each coming out in these, and like some of them are just over the top flamboyant costumes, you know, like some Macho Man Randy Savage dude come rolling in here.
We're not on the air.
Uh-oh.
It's just fuzzy.
That's a transmitter.
Oh.
Are we
That's
back?
not good. Well, I can hear us.
All right.
Are you on air?
Yeah, I'm on air. Okay.
Yeah, it just went fuzzy.
Oh, wow, that's weird. And when I heard static, and I was like, huh, it's usually transmitter when I hear static.
It got like Joe Biden in here for a minute. Everything went staticky.
But we're good.
Right.
All right.
But yeah, no.
But anyway, yeah, it's very much like you were talking about with the Macho Man Randy Savage guy coming in to collect the thing, and then it was
that's an old Bugs Bunny bit. And me, boss, and one for you. And me, boss, and one for you.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. So good luck. Tell me what the hell that move works.
I'll let you
when
know.
you go to get barbecue.
I'll let you know. We have to get the full spooky, scary skeleton costume to pull it off, but I'll make it work.
I say, son, slap some brisket on this plate here.
I do declare it is a hot one out here today. I got the vapors. Give myself a white napkin.
After all, I'm pretty sure Mel Blanc's here. He's got brisket like 4 times.
Get down on my knees. Hi, boss. Can I get some of that barbecue? Thank you kindly. Oh, my arms? Well, I was born with long arms and short legs.
Stubborn fucking dance. I can use the steak. Yeah. Yeah. Slap some brisket on your doc. Hitting them all.
As I pointed out when we had the interview, which the joke's going to come up later during the interview. It's a great weekend to be a citizen of Roswell. It's a great weekend to be a veteran. It is a bad weekend to be a cow.
That's true. I did hear that part.
So much cow going to be served this weekend.
Beef-centric this weekend.
That's right.
Between the brisket at the picnic and the steak at the Veterans Day, yeah, there's many a beef.
Oh, and vegans, feel free to come by. They're going to have rolls.
Yeah. Maybe some coleslaw.
There's a whole field of grass out there.
That's right.
Go nuts.
What are you doing to save the planet? I'm eating the cow. Sorry, old Ron White did. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of excitement this weekend. So we're going to play that interview next hour that Sean had with Pastor Troy and the Church on the Move folks over there. So we'll play that next hour. This hour, we're going to play our interview we had with Justin Dominguez. He's with the District Attorney's Office. He's the lead investigator. We had a great conversation with him last week just about the job and everything. So we'll play that for you this hour. And then we'll talk Church on the Move stuff next hour.
They're always armed. I've just never imagined a scenario where it's like, freeze, District Attorney's Office.
Well, they do go out to houses and investigate,
Speaking of, did you hear that? There's a story that came out yesterday. I guess it happened a few years ago, but the case finally got settled, I guess, yesterday or this week. A guy was driving by a cop and he flipped him the bird.
Yeah.
And the cop pulled him over for that.
Okay.
And he's like, what did I do? What's illegal about that? And then as he was, didn't give him a citation or anything, let him go. But as he was letting him go, he let out another string of curse words towards the cop. The cop got back in his car. And then about 5 minutes later, pulled the guy over again and actually arrested him for disorderly conduct.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was no basis for this whatsoever. It was, free speech, First Amendment rights and all that. But the case just settled this week.
Really?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Settled out of court. I think it was like 100.
So the guy got money?
Yeah, the guy got some cash for it. But it was just, he actually ended up having to spend, I think, like 2 or 3 days in jail because of this, what happened.
Well, I'm sure the cop was overzealous, but when you act like an a-hole things happen.
I'm not saying that you should go flip off a cop. I'm just saying it shouldn't be illegal.
If you were doing those things and it inconvenienced your day, you brought that upon you. But just saying, you caused that series of events to happen, whether it was rightly or wrongly. Had you just kept your finger in your pocket, you would have not had to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah, generally speaking.
Rightly or wrongly what the cop did.
Keep your fingers to yourself.
Maybe just, act like an adult.
You can act like a man.
And don't worry about
what's the matter with you.
Things. I know it's easier said than done, but dumb people get dumb results, and that's what happens.
Play stupid games and stupid prizes.
That's what happens. So anyway,
but I digress.
That's the part, and that's the world we live in. It's like, yeah, someone did something wrong, but at the beginning, you did something that caused all of this. If you just not done that thing, then none of this would have happened.
Sure, you just pushed a little ball of snow down a mountain.
Sorry.
What happened at the house at the bottom? That's not my fault. That's the snowball's fault.
That's right. But anyway, so Yeah, so we'll do that here. We'll play that interview here in just a bit. We will be out, like I said, tomorrow. We'll be out there doing radio drops and stuff of the drone and laser fireworks show and everything tomorrow. We'll be carrying the music to go along with the show on. So if you're out there, you can tune into 106.5 on your radios and watch it from your car there or where you're nearby, out in case you're not up close enough. I would tell you, people will be able to see it around the area, but to get the true view of the full show and all of the effects, you need to be out at Cielo Grande to do all that. It's just I know some people live nearby and you can watch and you can see quite a bit, but there's going to be a lot of the show you can't see because it's right there on the grounds, So be there if you can, but and if you can't get too close, and tune into our 106.5 and we'll have the music for it. So.
I got a little vertigo last year watching the show because we were so close.
Yeah.
Like we were about, for the fireworks portion of things, we were about 100 to 150 yards away from the blast zone. But the drone show was happening literally right above our heads.
Yeah.
So I was just like all the way up like this, and I ended up getting like dizzy and stuff, trying to make out some of the images. But it's such an amazing show. And this year's is bigger and better than ever.
That's right. Although that's where these drone shows, they're very cool and they're awesome if you've never seen one. But because I'm a product that watched Alfred Hitchcock movies like The Birds back in the day, when I hear hundreds of drones humming in unison, it gives me Alfred Hitchcock vibes.
It is It is a little bit off-putting because, again, right next to us is where they're at, and they all turn on at the same time. And you hear,
yeah. It's just, and that's just because television has warped me, and that's when I hear it, I'm like, all I can think of is the general from Hot Shots. Jumping Jesus! I love a good general. Don't they ever respect for the dead? Oh man. All right, it is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. I should get the hour going. Yes. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Just a slim chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm today. Our highs 100 to 105. Overnight, a few clouds, and we're in the upper 70s. About the same for Saturday, just isolated afternoon showers and thunderstorms going up to about 100 again, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Then some scattered showers rolling through on Saturday night, sunny and slightly cooler on Sunday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently 83 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 44% with winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour. There is a 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. today, mostly sunny and hot with a high of 104. Otherwise, southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms tonight, mainly before 9 p.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and a overnight low of 77 degrees. West winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Mostly sunny and 103 with southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, we are looking at a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 76. Sunny and hot on Sunday with a high of 98. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Monday, sunny and hot, 101, and then looks like Tuesday of next week, and looks like it lingers through a good hunk of next week, rain chances. So we'll see how that shapes up, especially as we get into the 4th of July and everything else there, UFO Fest. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll play our interview we had with Justin Dominguez from the District Attorney's Office. That's up on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Pull! Shooters, mark your calendars for the H.F. Sinclair 3rd Annual Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range, benefiting the Artesia FFA. Main event is Saturday. Registration at 7 a.m. 1 in 4 participants win prizes, gun boards, raffles, and lunch included. There's an option Friday night light shoot with $40 individual rounds. Details and registration info at artesiachamber.com. Deadline is July 1st. The 3rd Annual H.F. Sinclair Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support?
Clear.
With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 1515 per thousand financed on select new Ford models with approved credit.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Do you love your car? Yes. Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles with special financing available regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 3 years of free oil changes. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd. Church on the Move invites the community to celebrate One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. The celebration begins at 3 p.m., where the first 3,000 people will be treated to a festive picnic with mouth-watering brisket, sausage, and sides. Then, when the sun goes down, get ready to look up for the biggest drone show in Roswell's history, along with a bigger, better fireworks display to light up the night sky. Best of all, it's absolutely free. Celebrate America with Church on the Move and One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. See you there.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
Good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the District Attorney's Office here, our lead investigator, Justin Dominguez, back with us. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
Good.
Running and gunning.
Yeah, we were talking off air a little bit. And of course, most people's brains right now are focused on the fires and what we can do to help and getting coordinated efforts to do whatever needs to be done, wherever it needs to be done, and as the attention should be.
Sure.
But you guys, I mean, sure, your offices are working and partnering with other groups to make sure to help. But at the end of the day, you guys, there's still cases to prosecute. There's still investigations to conduct.
Yes, sir.
And so for you, it's just another basically normal, atypical day.
Right, and not to be insensitive at all as to what's going on in our surrounding communities and everything. But yeah, we still have victims to protect. We still have
people want justice
to prosecute. We still have things to move forward, and we are working in partnership with some of the other agencies and working to get items for donations to the evacuees and to people.
I imagine
over
the
there.
DA dogs are probably out and about doing what they can do.
Yeah, you know what?
In any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you guys have spoke with her. Gina's amazing, and anything. I'm sure if there's any way that they can be utilized, or if there's anything that they can do to assist in this situation, they'd be more than happy to step up and take care of business.
And by the way, side note here, while we're in the of supporting and giving, if you go online, you can type in DA Dogs on Facebook. It should pop right up. If you'd like to support, because that is an amazing program that's really kind of grassroots out of this area.
Yes,
this is something that was started here, and now the rest of the area is kind of saying, you know what, this is a great idea. And these are dogs. Like if you think of the Casa dogs, where they work and serve as bringing calm and normalcy to a room when when the children are trying to navigate and negotiate what they're going on.
Sure.
These work in very much the same fashion for, say, victims or witnesses. They serve in roles of making normalcy and comfort into a place that may not be comfortable for people. They even go offshoot into hanging out at the library sometimes for kids to read at them. But their primary purpose is to serve that need to help witnesses and to help people. And they're finding great success with this. And now
I've seen it personally.
Yeah, and the program's expanding. And but here's the thing. The legislators haven't been able to get the funding from the state and other resources. So everything that's being done now is grassroots, donations, people that believe and support in the program and want to help in any way, shape, or form. So if you'd like and it's an amazing program. If you'd like to help out, please. Donations, there's different ways you can help, and it'll tell you there.
Right.
Please support that because at some point our state and federal people will say, hey, maybe we should invest money in this and make this a bigger thing, and then we can make it happen. But until that happens, it's the onus is on us.
It's all funded by donations and by businesses in the area helping out. For example, with dog food and stuff like that, we've got local businesses that assist us in those areas.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up because I also wanted to talk a little bit about the golf tournament that's coming up October 19th.
Yeah.
Is
and this is strictly to help raise funds for
that's it. It's coming up October 19th. It's a 3-man golf scramble. It's $100 a person, so $300 a team. And it's going to be at the New Mexico Military Institute golf course. Yeah. And there are different tier levels of sponsorship that you can do also.
And now's the time to sign up for that kind of stuff. And by the way, the tournament's in October.
Yep.
Which means the weather will be nice.
Should be beautiful.
It'll feel like spring.
Yes, it should be beautiful. But if anybody wants any more information about that they can contact Gina at the district attorney's office and inquire as to the sponsorship tiers and stuff like that.
Please reach out. Please sign up your teams, or if you want to sponsor a T-Box or be a event sponsor or various levels of sponsorship. Again, every dime that you're donating to go whack balls and have fun is going to help.
And and that's a great way. That's a great way to donate and go out and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely, being good and helping out doesn't have to always be work.
Exactly.
Sometimes it could be you eating a copious amounts of food or hanging out, whacking the ball around on the golf course.
Yes, sir.
And all of that helps.
And we appreciate the support from the local communities for this foundation because, like you said, it's privately funded. I mean, not privately funded, but it's funded through donations.
Yeah, the public
and stuff like that.
There's no major entities funding.
Exactly.
It's all just people.
So
donate.
we appreciate those that do reach out and support that.
We want to change that, obviously, because our taxpayers' money should be being better invested into programs like this. And our legislators are fighting that fight. But till that fight's won, this is the best we can do.
Yes, sir.
So come whack golf balls. Come to make
October
donations.
19th.
Yes, and to be honest, I would imagine if you talk to some of the families that have used and had these animals as part of their whole experience, I'm going to say 99.9% of them said that was such a great beneficial.
I would venture to guess that there's some testimony that's been provided in court proceedings that probably was made possible by having the comfort of one of those dogs nearby, one of those canines nearby to assist them in comforting them or bringing their anxiety levels down or anything as dogs are so.
And that's the beauty of humans. Yeah, it's the beauty of humans. We all try to think, well, there's got to be this program or resource and to find out why we do this. And sometimes you just put a dog in the room and let the magic happen and things work itself out. Yep. And, we need that side where we're studying and investigating, but sometimes you're just like, let's just throw a sandwich on the table and see what happens. Yep. And that's kind of what this program is like.
We're very grateful for the handlers and all the canines that support us in this district and all the work that they do. They do a great job for us, and we're very appreciative of them also. So.
Absolutely. So please, thank you to everyone that has supported and continues. And we're asking for more to get out there and come whack some golf balls or get involved in
October
other ways.
19th.
And let's do this.
Yes, sir.
That being said, with the investigation side of things, like, just gee whiz curious, and I know this really Ruidoso is different, but for folks dealing with court cases and all, I imagine for those folks, if you had court issues in Ruidoso and stuff, I'm sure people have contacted you, but I'm sure all that's been put on back burners right now. Cases are being delayed, postponed, or whatever is needed for those districts. I know that's not really your wheelhouse.
It's a different district than what we deal with here in the 5th, but if there are people listening that maybe have pending cases or something, the best I can offer is to just make sure you're doing your best to maintain contact with your attorney.
Yeah, stay in touch with the phone calls because and to be honest, and your DAs here deal with the same thing in these things. They get it. Life happens and things happen in life, and you got to do things. But if you're constantly staying in contact, showing that you're trying to be involved and not trying to skirt or shirk the issue, they're going to work with you on
right. Because unfortunately, in these tragic situations, people are going to try to take advantage of the situation, and that's very unfortunate. But the best I can offer, we don't give legal advice and stuff like that. The best I can offer is it would be in their best interest to maintain contact with their attorney as best as possible. Because
they're human beings like you're human beings, and they'll, and if they could see that you're just here trying to get resolution to this situation, they're going to work with you to make sure that's what. Because at the end of the day, that's what your office is doing, and their office in Ruidoso, they're trying to get resolution to these cases. Yep. Find justice, find a settlement that all parties can agree on. In some cases, the offended party is. We're more concerned here, but you know what I mean.
Yes,
here.
sir.
And that's and anytime you're showing that you are actively doing that, it turns out okay.
Right.
But and life happens. Things happen. Things slip through the cracks. I mean, you see, like the one that this wasn't here, obviously, but that viral video of the guy that showed up on a virtual thing to appear for court. I don't know if you saw this one.
And he was driving
on a suspended license, and it turns out he was like, "What are you driving?" Turns out that was a big mistake, and it wasn't the guy's fault after all said and done. The guy legit thought he had a license, and there was some clerical error. But that do happen.
It does.
There's
another one that where there was a hearing on a domestic violence case, and there was supposed to be no contact between both of the parties, and the defendant was on virtual court from a different room inside the residence where the victim was also, and was telling the judge that he wasn't there. So they sent an officer to check, and sure enough, he was still in the same residence and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy, man. You can't make it up. You can't make this stuff up.
And so if you're not pulling those kind of things, then they work with you pretty well.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If you're legit trying to make things right, they're going to help you navigate that and give you slack as needed on some of those things. But my point is, work with the people. Don't just
don't blow it off. I mean, you can't blow it off. Yeah.
If you ghost them or blow it off, that will catch up to you. It may be a year or two, but it will catch up to you at some point. Someday you're going to be doing something, and then that happens.
No, and our thoughts and prayers and good vibes are with the community, with the village of Ruidoso, and everyone that's been affected by this tragic incident that's ongoing. Yeah. I mean, we can't even say that's occurred. It's continuing. It's ongoing.
I'm sure you stayed in touch with some of the attorneys and things over there. Are they all okay and everything from what you're hearing? As far as displacements go and stuff like that. Are they getting taken care of?
Contact is spotty, so all we can do is wish everyone the best right now and pray for the best outcome for all involved.
Absolutely, yeah. So, but as far as for folks that don't know, maybe just first time tuning in and haven't heard Justin, what he does here at the district attorney, he's the lead investigator. So, how that kind of works in a nutshell is when the district attorneys have their cases that they're trying to build to prosecute, for whatever way, shape, or form. The police departments, they make the arrests, they gather initial evidence and things, but once the victims been identified and a case has been set up, and now we're in the process of determining guilt, innocence, and what's going to happen next, this is where your office, the investigation office, comes in, because you're kind of where the police are off, new crimes, new cases, and sure, they have detectives on open cases and things, but once there's arrests made, that's when you guys come in, and if there's more evidence that needs to be solidified or gained or vetted out, things like that, that's where your office comes in and in essence serves that role for the liaison for the DA or the attorney.
Right.
So to get the information and evidence needed so they can use that in court to bolster the case.
Yeah, so we have a really cool job, that we get to do within the district attorney's office. We've talked before. There's many different divisions under, within the district attorney's office. There's not just prosecuting attorneys. There's different divisions, and one of the divisions within the agency is the Criminal Investigations Division, and I'm the chief investigator. I run the Criminal Investigations Division for the 5th. I have 2 other investigators that work out of the other offices in the district, and they're an integral part of what we do moving forward through cases. A lot of times we assist the agencies with cases that
because they're overworked and overloaded too, just like everybody else is. Yeah, you're right.
Anything that we can ever do to offer a helping hand to the agencies, we're right there. I mean, we're all certified commissioned law enforcement officers ourselves, so anything that we need to do, even up to and including filing charging documents, if that's what we need to do.
And I'm thinking in most cases, maybe not all, but most cases that people, investigators like yourself, Lehman, your first rodeo was probably wearing a badge and a gun and in a patrol car
I was on patrol
somewhere
for many years.
Yeah, that's the story for many of at some point life happens. Hey, I want to pursue this part, and that's the beauty of law enforcement. Right. If you're looking for careers in law enforcement, not every law enforcement person is sitting in a patrol car,
correct,
and hitting a beat every night.
Yes, sir.
All people wearing a badge have the ability to do that, but not all people that wear the badge do that.
Right.
That's
yes,
what
sir.
I mean.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, when you're a peace officer, your job is to protect and serve.
Right.
And whether that means you're in a car. And this is what law enforcement is. Whether you're having a meal with your family on a weekend, or you're in uniform on duty, you're on 24/7. That's just the life of an officer. And so this is kind of that. These are kind of the evolution for some folks that they kind of I don't want to put on the uniform every day. I'm going to put on my hat, my badge, and I'm going to, go knock on doors and turn over leaves and find evidence and information to
we also get cases from the Attorney General's office that are me or my investigators will get to investigate, to look into on different types of crimes. We work on a lot of the more high-profile crimes and stuff like that go on within our district. But anytime one of the agencies needs anything, we're ready to step in and help out however we can.
Gee was curious. Do you have some of the authority of police? Like, can you arrest people and things like that, or do you have to get law enforcement to actually?
So we can file the documents, the charging documents to arrest, but it's called a uniformed arrest.
Okay.
So most of the time, the person affecting the arrest is going to be a uniformed officer from an agency. Okay. It's it's called a uniformed arrest. It's called a uniform traffic citation. So someone in plain clothes, even a police detective, can't pull you over and write you a citation unless they're in uniform. So it's things like that. So a uniformed arrest, an arrest by definition is a uniformed arrest and has to be effected by a uniformed officer.
So you basically pull the strings and everything in there, but you basically have to have a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, we can file. I can file the charging documents and get the arrest warrant and sign off on the arrest warrant, and then go to the place with a uniformed officer so they can.
And they're
effect
the ones
the
that slap the cuffs and make the actual arrest under your discretion and direction. Basically, makes complete sense. That's how I was asking you. It's like, does your powers go where you can do that? But yes, but no.
Yes.
I mean, you can't go by yourself. But yes. Correct. I can call a police department and say, I got a pick up. Can you meet me here?
Yeah, and again, it would have to be a uniformed officer. Like it's the same thing with a detective at a police agency. If they go to arrest someone, they're there with a uniformed individual to effect the arrest.
Sure. Which I imagine too, and not the saying that law enforcement talks. Like everyone has good relationships with the various agencies, and that some serve the same areas, some serve neighboring areas, but I think you have the unique perspective of everybody, because pretty much every single law enforcement agency that covers ground in the 5th District, you've got to have a relationship, whether it's state, a city or local PD, or a county PD, or even something like NIMI Police Department.
Right.
You've got to have a working relationship with every one of those people in some circles.
Yeah, and you know what's cool about that is myself. So my other 2 investigators are Hector Ramirez and Stan Jordan, and between the 3 of us, we have over probably 40, 50 years of law enforcement experience in this district, from Roswell to Hobbs to Artesia and Carlsbad.
And you established a lot of these relationships just coming up in the ranks, basically.
Yes, by all accounts. So Investigator Ramirez is primarily out of the Chavez County area, and he's worked with the Chavez County Sheriff's Office prior to coming to our agency, and he knows a lot of the individuals with the police department and NIMI and stuff like that through relationships that he's developed. And Stan Jordan came from Hobbs Police Department and the Lee County area and up through those areas. Myself, as a patrolman, I've worked in Lovington. I've worked for the Eddy County Sheriff's Office, the Artesia Police Department, throughout my career. So, you
make a lot of friends.
We've all been, and then I teach. I regularly teach at the academy. I'm an instructor for the state, and I regularly teach at the Southeastern New Mexico Law Enforcement Academy. So, continue to develop those relationships through cadets that are coming up to the academy.
Those new generations of law enforcement, they've already got a relationship with you because at some point you were showing them the ropes in some way, shape, or form. And here's and to me, I think that's probably your greatest asset, I'm guessing, as an investigative team is, yes, the experience, but the relationships.
Yeah.
Because where I think it makes a huge difference is when you call some of your friends at, say, the Lovington Police Department, because, like you said, you've got circles there. When there's like, oh, Justin's calling, they're going to give it a little more weight because they know you as a person, individual, and you're not going to blow smoke if smoke is not needed to blow because they just know your history. So when you come and say, hey, this is serious, I need you to put a priority stamp on it, they're going to jump too because that's Justin asking because we know Justin's not going to call Right Wolf on us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And your other investigators have those same kind of relationships throughout. And so when your people talk, it probably carries a little more weight just because of the relationships you've made and things, and they know if it's coming from here, there's some seriousness to it, or where sometimes someone else will come in and say something like, "Yeah, we'll get to it." You walk in, and it's like, nope, that's a priority.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And the relationships with the outlying agencies are paramount, and it's a little easier it's a little easier for a police officer to talk to another police officer. Sometimes
it's like veterans.
Sometimes the mentality
Same
of a police
mindset.
officer and the mentality of a prosecuting attorney, the goal is the same, but the mentality may be a little bit
They come
different
from
on the way
different
it's
worlds.
looked at.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's easier for them to talk to another police officer, such as myself, who understands both sides and then can communicate that to the attorney in a way that's understanding to them.
Well,
so then it bridges that gap.
Sure. I mean, let's face it, odds are pretty clear that your fellow investigators and officers, they see things more in the raw than a district attorney would. District attorney, they see the details, they see all the case, but unless they're watching the police cam footage or whatever, they don't get the rawness of it sometimes that your side gets. And so that's where that disconnect sometimes is like, now unless you're in the room with the screaming and the crying, it's kind of hard to understand. Even you can imagine it, but it doesn't resonate. And that's why it's no different than veterans. Why some veterans are good at talking with veterans but don't want to talk to anybody else.
Right.
Law enforcement, first responders, there's a lot of the same
on the flip side of the coin, and I can relate to both sides, having done this now on both sides of the coin, but I can relate to the prosecution side too, and put it to the officers in a way where they understand where an officer's mentality might be.
Because of your experience in the DA's office.
I've got all this right here, and they're still saying that I need X, Y, and Z, and then I can step in and say, yes, they need X, Y, and Z. This is why, and then they go, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, you're the liaison, the Sherpa, so to speak, and you speak cop, you speak lawyer, and you can talk cop to cops and lawyer to lawyer, and transition between the two.
We hope so.
And sometimes to have that person in the room is the difference between success and confusion.
Yes, sir. Because at the end of the day, like I said, those relationships are paramount, and we're all trying to achieve the same goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Our office and the outlying law enforcement agencies, we're all trying to accomplish.
And you also need the perspective, because let's face it, there's things that a law enforcement peace officer, their priorities, what their duty is for what it's supposed to be there, and what an attorney's end game. They're the same, and we want to get people, victims justice and protected, and the accused serving their time and doing what they're supposed to do for the punishment of what they did. That is all agreement, but like you said, sometimes the lawyers know things that police officers don't. It's like, look, I get what you're feeling.
The interpretation of the law.
Yeah. And what I can prove versus what we know is right isn't always the same.
Exactly.
And from a law enforcement perspective, they don't see it maybe from that angle like an attorney would. And then conversely, the attorney's like, well, unless you can prove it, it's like, dude, this duck is walking, talking, smelling like a duck here.
Especially when you're personally invested.
Yeah.
Like we officers get so invested in our cases because we see initially from the beginning how this is affecting people, how this is victimizing people. So we get personally invested in stuff. So it's very difficult to hear someone tell you,
you can't do it.
We need this. You don't have,
even though everything in your bones telling you what it needs to be done. But and this is the beauty and the greatness that is our legal system. You are innocent until proven guilty, despite the rumors, the thoughts, the what you think you knows. In the eyes of the courts, you are innocent until proven guilty.
And everyone deserves to be afforded that opportunity. Because I think of it as God forbid one of my family members was ever in a tough situation. I would definitely want them afforded the opportunity to be considered innocent until proven guilty.
And let's face it, sometimes mistakes are made, and there are people that are wrongfully convicted.
Excuse me.
I'm going to say more people are rightly convicted, but there are times where evidence steered the direction in a different thing, and for those instances, that's why we have to be thorough.
Especially before a lot of the technological advances have been made that we have now.
Absolutely, yeah. As technology gets better and things get better, DNA certainly. Right. The early years of DNA, they're finding out, we made some mistakes on some of this stuff, and now technology's better, and now I mean, we can argue about OJ all day or something, but I would imagine if we had the data collection that we did now that we did in the 90s. OJ probably would have been convicted. I'm just a hunch, but
yeah, I mean,
I'm just spitballing here, but that's case in point is what I'm trying to say here.
Right.
It's and vice versa. Sometimes the evidence pointed one way. That's why you hear those. Again, they're rare cases, but of the person that did serve 30 years, and turns out they didn't kill the person. Yeah. It was the kid up the street or something.
Well,
like
and the advances that we've made with technology now are the ones that are overturning those cases from 30 years ago.
And so, but that is for the very reason why we go over the top to make sure someone's guilty.
Right.
And even though everyone in the room is like, yeah, we know, but if you can't prove it, then they're not guilty.
Right.
That's how our court system works. And I know if you're on the victim side, it sucks and you're mad and you feel hopeless. But what if the shoe's on the other foot and it turns out you didn't do it?
Right.
And that's why we do it this way, because we'd rather err on the side of caution and be overabundance on putting someone that's going to be a life-altering thing, or they're going to be behind bars the rest of their life or something like that. We better darn sure get it right. And that's the goal at the end of the day. So they're going to go over the top. And so what an attorney needs to go over the top versus what a police officer needs to go over the top aren't the same things. And sometimes that's the disconnect there.
Right.
So, and that's where guys like Justin and his team can come in and, all right, this is what's going on. And they trust you because you chewed that dirt. And same with the attorneys, because you're in the room battling with them, fighting and getting them everything. They trust you. And that's kind of where you guys have such a great niche. And without your office, I have no idea what kind of chaos would be going on in between getting cases prosecuted and everything.
Well, and a lot of the reason why we're successful, or why we're able to see the success that we see in our district, is because of our district attorney Diana Luce and the authority that she gives me and my team to do our job, because she is pro-police. So having a DA that's pro-police really helps us do our job, because our commission is my commission comes from the district attorney. She's the one that commissions us. And so, just like what I was talking about as far as our ability to do our job, it's just like a deputy or a patrolman for the city police, except our jurisdiction, because we're commissioned through the district attorney, our jurisdiction is the entire 5th Judicial District. So I can help Hobbs Police Department tomorrow, and I can be here helping our PD on Friday, and you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. It's just our jurisdiction goes a little.
You can cut through
further.
tape that other agencies cannot.
Right.
And that streamlines.
And I've seen it work very positively on a lot of situations, which is the direction that I'm trying to move our division for this agency. In for example, there's been some homicides that have happened where as soon as we're notified, then I'm on scene with the investigating agency, and I'm helping them with whatever I can. But not only that, even sometimes just being there to bridge that gap is easy. While the case agent is busy, or one of the agents are typing up a search warrant or something, then I can be on the phone with the attorney and telling them, hey, this is what we're looking at, this is what's going on. he's finishing up the search warrant now. Okay, he's fixing to send it. Okay, he sent it. Can you review that and let us know? And it just kind of speeds up the process.
Sure. And especially when you're in evidence gathering or trying to catch resources, witnesses, the sooner, the fresher, the better. You always see TV shows like 48 Hours and stuff on A&E, and then they always say stuff like, if we don't solve it within 48 hours, it's going to get a lot harder. Right. And that is so very true in every single case. When incidents happen, things are fresh in people's minds. When evidence is most abundant and fresh at that time. Right. So time is of the essence on some of these kinds of things. And so those little things you're talking about, while the case officer's doing this, you can go, this allows evidence that might be of a time-sensitive nature, or, time changes people's thoughts. Sure. And so as the longer you wait to interview witnesses, the longer, the greater opportunity that some details get missed or left out. Right. And so that's probably the difference between success and failure in some of these cases is those early moments. Right. Those moments of coordination, and is everybody covering all bases here? And for you to be in the room to help navigate that, that's probably sometimes the difference in prosecution and acquittal on a case. Right.
And, again, just to reiterate, my position looks very different if we don't have a district attorney that is pro law enforcement.
You're right. And that's something that every time Diana's come in, either by herself or with yourself or with the other DAs, deputy DAs, she's very, you can tell she's in charge and she's the DA, but she runs by a collective. Yep. I imagine every decision she makes when it comes, she's picture brain up ways and down ways before she says, we
were laughing the other day. We were joking, and I told her I'm in constant communication with Diana, and I told her the other day I had gone on a little mini vacation with my family, and it had been maybe 3 days since I had talked to her. So when I ran into her on that fourth day, I told her, I said, I was talking to my wife, and I told her I'm having withdrawals. I haven't talked to Diana in 3 days. I don't know what's going on. We need to figure this out. But yeah, we stay in constant communication, and
they have a red phone just like the president.
This one I keep looking at. That's my bat phone.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, no, she not because she's my boss or anything like that, and at the sake of sounding like I'm trying to get something out of it, but she's just an incredible person to work for. She really does. She cares about all of the people, not just in the agency, but all of the citizens of the 5th Judicial District, all the constituents in this area. Like she really cares about them. And she does a phenomenal job.
And the proof is the quality of the people that are in the office. And because let's face it, the district attorney's office, and it doesn't matter if it's in the attorney side or even the investigation side, there is uber stiff competition to pay people probably way more money to do very similar things you're doing now and what these attorneys are doing now in different fields. So for folks to not only be here, but to put in the time that yourself and some of the other deputy DAs have called the 5th District home, that in and of itself is a advertised advertisement for the quality of what's coming out of the office. People don't stay where they're not happy.
Exactly.
Especially when they have options. And let's face it, attorneys always have options.
Right.
When they get to investigators at your level, there's many, many people in the private and government sector that are pulling you to try to get you to come join their team.
Right.
And let's face it, private companies, look at oil and gas. When it's good, it's real good.
Right.
When it's bad, it's bad. And across the board, law enforcement, district attorney office, they're always fighting that battle of keeping the good ones in and not getting tempted to lure where the bigger bucks and the bigger, greener pastures are. And so the fact that, like yourself, and not only been here a year, but years, and I guess as long as Diana's been district attorney, I've been right. That is the unofficial advertisement, just saying quality of life's good here. We say it, and you say it, you're like, I love it here, but the real proof is the fact that there's so many people that have been here for years that the work sucks, but they're still here. Because let's face it, you're dealing with heinous stuff every day, and there's even on a good day, you're things that make you want to shake your head and cry sometimes.
It's easier to make sacrifices for the job when you know that you're being led by someone who truly cares about the mission.
Exactly, and that's the point I'm getting at is. She's leading that by example.
Absolutely.
And you're seeing that
from the front. She definitely leads from the front.
Justin and then really have to say a thing because it's already unsaid by just looking at the proof here.
Yep.
And that's what it is. And so, yes, so tip of the cap to her. And every time I get to talk to her and get an opportunity.
She planned on being here with me this morning, but
I get it.
Trial prep and stuff coming up and everything.
The day job is the day job, and sometimes you can't do the things you want to do.
Because I know she really looks forward to the opporunities to come in here and
she's great to talk to and love.
And
I love having these conversations with yourself and her and the other attorneys.
And I think one of the things that a lot of people may not realize down here in the 5th is she's very well known and respected throughout the entire state as a district attorney. She served as the president of the New Mexico District Attorneys Association, and she's held different board positions through the National District Attorneys Association. So she's very well known and respected throughout the nation and the state.
And that does help when her initiatives and things that she champions, since she's built that reputation,
absolutely,
it automatically gives it that certain level of credence.
Yes,
because she walked
when she speaks, people definitely listen.
The E.F. Hutton line, when she talks, people listen.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is here. But I just saw the time, and we probably need to wrap this up here. But as always, we do appreciate anything we can get. And, of course, if you have questions and stuff, you can always call the district attorney's office. They'll be
Do not hesitate to reach out to us.
They'll give you the info. And if they can't answer the question directly, they'll put you in touch with the people that can and all that. But the biggest advice, I know in this more, Chaves County, it's business as usual. In District 5, it's business as usual compared to what's going on in Lincoln and everything else now here. But the best advice, stay in touch with your attorney, stay in touch. If you've got ongoing cases, if you're, it is the summer months, people vacation and want to do things. If you're got pending cases, maintain sure you're green light with your attorney, and so you don't get the I didn't know, and then you end up arrested because you didn't know.
Right.
That's the idea.
Yeah, and our thoughts and prayers and good vibes are out to the village of Ruidoso and everybody that's affected by this tragedy.
Look up the DA Dogs on Facebook. Sign up for the golf tournament in October. And let's and if your organization or business wants to sponsor, now's the time to reach out.
Please.
Let's get this. Let's get it to a point where we raise so much money. They're like, man, we could buy some more dogs and get a few more into the program and everything else. That would be or we can build a doggy palace for these guys or something. I don't know, some kind of doggy Club Med or something.
A resort.
Yeah.
There you go.
Something like that. Justin, as always, appreciate the visit. Stay safe. And thank you for all the work that you and your people do.
Appreciate you guys.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right.
Valley News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Cirillo. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following. A portion of West College Boulevard in Roswell next to the Cielo Grande Recreation Area is scheduled to be closed. There's a fireworks, drone, and laser light show Saturday night. West College will be closed to traffic between Nevada Avenue and the east entrance to the recreation area starting at 9:30 p.m. At the conclusion of the show, police will be helping to direct traffic as people exit the event. Also in Roswell, a reveal date for the Roswell Rocket at the UFO Festival in downtown Roswell. Save the date for July 5th at 8:30 p.m. near the corner of 4th and Main Streets. The original rocket was taken down due to some safety concerns, but has since been rehabbed and is ready to be revealed. Once again, on July 5th, 8:30 p.m., near the corner of 4th and Main Streets in Roswell. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Ryan Lang in for Lou Dobbs. Wall Street winning in June. Fed's preferred inflation update today. Meta and Microsoft sued. June trading wrapping up today. Wall Street closing in on another winning month. Strong earnings, steady inflation progress helping the effort. The June technology boom slowed a bit, but already boosting the NASDAQ close to 5% this month. NVIDIA leading the charge. The stock up nearly 10% in June, despite recent losses. The Fed closely watching May inflation data today. The personal consumption expenditures price index up 8 before the opening bell. Wall Street expecting a flat reading month to month. Year over year, the PCE price index expected to rise 2.6%. Today's update could impact the Fed's decision on rate cuts this year. A lawsuit claims Meta prefers to hire foreign over American workers and at lower costs. The Center for Investigative Reporting suing OpenAI and Microsoft. The suit claims OpenAI copied CIR content without authorization. Meanwhile, OpenAI and Time Magazine announced a multi-year content deal. It'll allow OpenAI supply access to current and archived time articles from over 100 years. Please join Lou twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Dan Morgan. One question many people wonder is, does the law firm I hire for my injury case matter? Of course it does. At Morgan & Morgan, we've invested millions into making sure your experience from first call to your settlement is so easy. You can literally start your case right from your couch in just a few clicks. You'll also be able to text your case staff and lawyer anytime you need. We're America's largest injury law firm for a reason. Injured? The choice is easy.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Church on the Move invites veterans and their families to a free dinner this Saturday at Church on the Move, 901 West Brasher. Beginning at 5, veterans along with 3 guests will be treated to a steak dinner, as well as entertainment by guest speaker Chad Robichaud, a Marine Corps veteran and JSOC operator, as well as Christian country artist Rhett Walker. Please join Church on the Move for an evening filled with gratitude, camaraderie, and the celebration of the brave men and women who selflessly served our country. Saturday, 5 p.m. at Church on the Move, 901 West Brasher in Roswell.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. We have another batch of newly released opinions by the nation's highest court. In a 6-3 ruling, the Supreme Court striking down the long-standing Chevron doctrine. In doing so, the High Court is reining in the power of government bureaucrats to interpret laws that may be somewhat unclear and are applied to businesses.
The court delivered a far-reaching and potentially lucrative victory to business interests, ruling in cases brought by fishermen in New Jersey and Rhode Island. The justices overturned the 1984 decision known as Chevron. Billions of dollars are potentially at stake and challenges that could be spawned by the ruling. The heart of the Chevron decision says federal agencies should be allowed to fill in the details when laws are ambiguous.
Correspondent Jeremy House, and in a case out of Oregon, the Supreme Court says that cities can enforce bans on homeless people sleeping outdoors in areas where shelter space is in short supply. A 6-3 ruling that reverses a San Francisco-based appeals court that had classified outdoor sleeping bans as cruel and unusual punishment. The Democrat Party establishment panicking about the election following President Biden's shaky debate performance last night. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports from Atlanta.
Throughout this election campaign, the 81-year-old president has faced consistent questions about whether he's too old for another 4 years on the job. On the debate stage here in Atlanta, Mr. Biden's performance was marked by repeated stumbles and awkward moments of silence. Afterwards, there was a heightened level of concern about his fitness for office. The president's outing was so rough that Democrats are publicly and privately questioning whether he should be the party's presidential nominee. Greg Clugston, Atlanta.
Prices rose 2.6% year over year last month, according to the Commerce Department. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 158. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Japan, a drug company, faces government scrutiny and serious allegations of wrongdoing.
Kobayashi Pharmaceuticals' red yeast or Beni Koji supplements were said to help lower cholesterol. They were pulled from store shelves in March. A government raid at one of the company's factories a short time later uncovered a potentially poisonous acid produced by mold. The deaths of 4 people in Japan have already been tied to Kobayashi's products, but one other death has been judged to be unrelated to the pills. Japan's health ministry says it's carrying out a parallel investigation amid accusations the company is being uncooperative.
The BBC's Celia Hatton. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency is delaying its planned launch of a satellite on its new flagship H-3 rocket because of expected bad weather at the launch site in southwestern Japan. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin will host former President Trump at an event today in the Old Dominion.
At an afternoon rally in Chesapeake, one day after his first scheduled debate with President Biden, Mr. Trump is set to play up an apparent shift in his relationship with the governor as well as with voters in Virginia, where 2 recent polls show the race for president tied. Though independent political analysts and even Republican strategists don't rate Virginia a top-tier swing state, Trump and Youngkin have declared the Commonwealth in play. Youngkin suggested in a recent Fox News interview that his record, as much as President Trump's, has opened the door for Republicans in a state that hasn't picked one for president since George W. Bush in 2004. Bernie Bennett reporting.
In California, a 2022 law that bans drilling of new oil wells near places like homes and schools will likely be taking effect in the coming days. However, there's now talk emerging of a potential lawsuit that would be aimed at blocking that statute. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number 3. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to it.
I've only got one side, and every now and again it'll come in on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're going through the mountains and you yawn, you pop your ears, and all of a sudden everything's just clear again.
Talking about his headphones.
Yeah, my headphones.
Yeah.
Over here fiddling with wires.
Well, it was funny because he was doing his thing there, and he was trying to tweak the headphone jack to hear his second ear, and he just had that look of I'm deep in the other thing.
Did you notice that I had to fight one off because I said the Y word too? Even the word confusion. Even the word yawn makes me want to yawn.
Yeah,
it's so painfully contagious.
Yeah.
Well, I got him the other day, right before I went on air. I yawned, and he was like doing that.
Yeah. It will. It puts it in your head.
I look at people who can fight through it. Like, what's wrong with you? You psychopath? Give in.
Let it
feels
go.
so good.
Just let the yawn. Look.
Y'all guys stop.
See?
I'm not trying to fight a yarn here.
I think I'm fighting it. I'm doing good. So happy Friday, everybody. It's a yawn fest this morning.
I gotta take these off. That's what's doing it, because that was right in my ear. Yeah, this is what happens in radio, folks.
I just want to find out. I'm sure there's one out there of some YouTube video of just people yawning for 30 minutes. Just play it on a loop here.
I bet you got people in your cars that are
they're all just like,
"Oh,
suck, man."
Everybody's yawning.
Oh, watery-eyed.
Did you ever notice when somebody's like trying to mimic somebody who was driving their car, it's always like they were doing this thing?
Yeah.
Who drives like this?
Nobody.
You should never drive like this. Or if they'll be doing this thing, it's like, no, that's the wrong way to do. It's the wrong way to drive.
Yeah, especially if your hands are doing two different things. If you're going down this way and up this, you know what I mean? It's kind of
you gotta fight yourself. You gotta coordinate it.
Yeah, if you're trying to...
That's a different kind of driving entirely.
But anyway, happy Friday.
Yes.
That was the point of
That's all we're really trying to say.
Hope you have a wonderful day so far. And got weekend plans. Of course, big plans this weekend with Church on the Move. They got their big Veterans Dinner going on beginning at 5 p.m. and show. They're going to have a great guest speaker and music and steak dinners. And simultaneously at 3 o'clock, they'll have the big, One Nation Under God celebration with a picnic with brisket and sausage and sides for the first 3,000 folks. And then they'll do the drone and fireworks show beginning at dark time tomorrow
So if you've really got an appetite, swing by Cielo Grande at 3.
Yeah.
Grab up some good barbecue. We're talking brisket, sausage, all the sides.
And go get a steak if
and
you're
then
a veteran.
swing on out to Church on the Move and enjoy a nice steak dinner.
Yeah, that's a lot
And
of
then enjoy the constipation on Sunday.
About to say, and then head on over to your local pharmacy to get various antacids and indigestion medications.
To truly experience the meat sweats this weekend.
And then hang out in 104-degree heat.
Oh, God, yeah. And just let it percolate.
Let it marinate in there. That's a lot of eating.
Yeah.
Maybe pick one.
I got to make sure that our stool situation is... I'm not talking about that kind of stool. In the boombox, our stools are not in a great state of care right now. One is completely out of commission, and the other, the wooden seat is coming off. So Thomas said we're supposed to have some stools for this weekend, but I don't know if I buy it.
Kim always brings a bevy of chairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab
They'll sit
one
outside.
chair.
They probably won't sit inside. But not enough room in the trailer for those. It's not exactly
chairs,
spacious in our big giant radio. It's we have two radios. One's more spacious than the other.
One is smaller and weirdly more spacious, and then one is gigantic and cramped.
Yeah, and it's bigger because it's like 3 different units with the speakers, and then the part where people sit is smaller, whereas the other one's one giant big tube.
You got to imagine the guy who, like, the first looked at the MP3 player or the iPod, and then looked at his giant boombox truck and went, crap.
Yeah, it's kind of the bay of the boombox is gone.
That boombox though is it's I would almost say a historical icon here in Roswell.
Kinda is.
I remember when I was in high school, way back when, kids, I would go to the Coyote games and a DJ, won't say who, would have the boombox parked in the Wool Bowl parking lot and would be up on top of the boombox in this gigantic foam cowboy hat, strumming an inflatable guitar. And that was like one of the first moments where I'm like, I want to be in radio when I grow up.
That's what sold you, huh?
That was part of it. Well, I'd been doing the radio thing for years before that, in hobby form, but yeah.
I can get you one of those oversized foam hats, and I got a guitar we'll hand you, and we'll get you
Who
up
wants
there.
a blow-up guitar?
And I just want to make this clear. In the past 24 hours, Kim has offered to get me 2 small two small lawn chairs and a giant foam cowboy hat. You got some interesting connections.
Well, the two small folding chairs are in my garage.
Right.
We got them last year when we had a group of 6 come watch the drone show.
I remember that.
Yeah, we do have chairs for chairs.
And so those would be perfect for the kids if they come.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be coming this time. They can enjoy some mom time. Of course, they live close enough that they can actually watch the show pretty much from there.
From their home.
Yeah, Rhiannon's not crazy about fireworks per se.
Okay.
She likes them, like they're fun to watch, but the boomy ones really bug her.
The loud noises and everything, you know.
So
kind of like some veterans. I know they don't like them either.
Every year around this time, I always get reminded of, I can't remember where it was, but about 15 years ago, there was this giant fireworks display, and it all went up all at once.
I remember seeing that video. Yeah, wasn't it in like a big city like Philly or something?
It was somewhere. Yeah, it was
like on a boat, like out in the river or something. Yeah,
it was stock quiet, and then the sky lit up with 1,000 fireworks.
I felt like I was on the East Coast somewhere.
And then just nothing. It's one of my favorite videos.
I do remember that video. It was like a dozen years ago or something.
It was quite a few, yeah. But I was thinking of that every time we go into a fireworks.
It was before the dawn of the drone show, and it was probably in the height of the fireworks shows everywhere with the computers. Finally, where people are like, "Yeah, I got a computer that can make the fireworks go to the music and everything else."
I remember I was giddy like a schoolboy the first time I ever saw a firework shape into something like an American flag. You know, it exploded and it shaped into a flag. I'm like, how did they know how to do that?
I think the first one I saw were hearts that did that.
Yeah.
It turned into little hearts when they did it.
We had an experience. When we were at the nation's capital, 4th of July. His brother took us in. We were going to see the fireworks.
Oh, on the mall, yeah.
So, it's a big display.
It's a big one. Yeah. They do a big one there.
So we got there early, and it's humid as all get out.
Well, there's usually concerts and stuff before.
Sure.
It's like a whole festival. So fireworks at night, but then like there's various artists. Like I remember going as a kid, and the Beach Boys were one of them. Wow. I don't remember who was there.
There was no one playing.
Yeah, there was music, but I don't know if it was anybody famous at that time.
So we found a tree. Not that shade did anything.
That's the thing. In humidity, shade does nothing for you.
Well, and that day it was kind of overcast because it was rainy.
Well, it hadn't rained yet.
Yeah,
it's still dry, and we had our blanket, and we parked there the whole day. Do you remember that cop that came on the grass, and I even had to move my leg, or he was going to run over me?
Oh wow!
It was that close to where we were sitting, and anyway, so it's getting closer and closer. Time for the fireworks show. It's starting to get dark. It starts pouring down rain. And so we look like drowned rats. And we're waiting and waiting. Nothing's gone off yet. And we thought, oh, well, they canceled it. And we're like, well, we better hook it because we were using the metro.
The closest metro
subway.
stop was bombarded with people.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like the Smithsonian stop with everyone was going to, and it was hours of waiting just to get into the subway there. So we walked farther down to the Navy Yard.
We walked and walked. It was pouring down rain. It was just disgusting. But they started going off the fireworks.
Yes.
We could at least see them.
So we were watching as we were walking.
But
from the mall.
that's the thing. If you're gonna, that's the way to do it. Is wait till it starts and then head for the subway. You know you're gonna get the best seat.
Yeah.
So we ended up walking to the Naval Yard, which was miles.
Oh wow!
And we were tired.
See this right here? That's what love is. We walked together in the pouring rain, watching with fireworks going off behind us.
Getting splashed.
Yeah. There was nothing romantic about it.
No. I know. But I live by the phrase: 100 bad days made 100 good stories.
True. Like I'm telling the story
You're sitting here telling the story.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
I'll never forget that.
But because we just got our spot in the lawn there, and we were hanging out, and then it started raining around, an hour before the show,
and we were tired, hot, icky all day there, and it was just.
But she gets to see life in D.C. when it's the people, and you see all kinds.
Like you think it's hard to get off the Cielo Grande grounds after our fireworks display. Imagine trying to leave the mall in D.C. after their display.
And you really just don't walk up and park to it. It's hard to do that. And it's, because there's places you can't park. It's restricted, a lot of space,
People
like back in the day, I remember as a kid, you could drive right by the White House. Like you could literally drive up Pennsylvania Avenue right past the White House.
Well, they hadn't finished constructing it at that point.
No, it was constructed. No,
calling you old.
no,
Thanks, Kim.
Actually, if y'all remember when Clinton was president and that plane crashed into the White House, that little. After that moment, they shut down Pennsylvania Avenue to the public. But prior to that, you could drive down Pennsylvania. Now it's all blocked off and you can walk, but you can't drive anywhere around the White House.
Right.
Back in the day, you could. And there's parking but not anymore. All that's gone. So. But and Metro really is the way to go. But the closest stop to where the mall is, where the Washington Monument and all that, is the Smithsonian exit stop.
It's by the Air and Space Museum.
And everybody and their uncle was going out the Smithsonian exit.
So it would take hours.
So we're like, well, let's walk down to the next Metro stop.
That one was full. We just kept going.
Yeah, because is it LaFont Plaza that's the one next to it? It's been a minute since I've done it.
We went to the Naval Yard all the way.
Between the Naval Yard and Smithsonian, there's like LaFont Plaza. There's a couple other stops.
We had a trek. It was the trek.
Yeah.
I'm just going to imagine. I'm just assuming that's your phone. You have a strong vibration on that phone.
Yeah, I guess.
It's insane. I can barely even tell when mine goes off.
Mike does that too.
No, Mike's beats out to.
Well, mine's also.
I catch it every time it goes off.
Rift?
Yeah.
That is so old.
So hard to get it to do Smoke on the Water.
I will tell you.
Takes off glasses.
Oh, he's getting serious.
Werther's original music plays in background.
I don't know how many iPhones ago that was. But it was around one of the new features for the iPhone. I'm going to say it's somewhere around the 6.
Okay.
Give or take. They had a thing where you could create your own vibration haptics. And I'm sure you still can do it today.
Right.
I just discovered it then. And I was I was like, I watch a lot of Beavis and Butthead. I always have, and it's always in my brain. And that's one of their signature Smoke on the Water. There's a couple they do that, but that's
Beavis
one of them.
would just break out into that.
And so in my head, I was like, I want my vibrator to do that. And so I'm glad that you noticed it, because I'm like kind of like, is even people going to get this?
Yeah.
But the fact that years later someone said Smoke on the Water, I'm like, dude, you got me. So I'm kind of impressed that you noticed that, because I never told anybody I did it. I just did it, and when it vibrates, it goes.
It's a close representation thereof for sure. I would love to own that moment and be like, yeah, I feel special. We had this exact same conversation 2 years ago.
Did we?
Yeah. Okay. That's how I know.
Okay, I don't remember having
2
the
or 3.
conversation.
It was back then somewhere.
I'm just thinking you nailed it.
Nope.
Sweet.
Steel trap, buddy. Right here.
Yeah. My trap's got a little rust on it.
That trap is destroyed. Mine is.
Mine's got a little rust on it. But we probably need to get the interview going here. Otherwise,
it was one of my few long ones.
Actually, it's only about 20 minutes.
Okay, fine. Shut up.
No, your longer one was with
Bristol was a long one,
and county manager
Bill Williams.
Bill Williams, yeah.
Because I just let him cook.
Yeah, that was a lot. But this one, it's about 20. But there's talk of cooking.
Yes.
Weirdly enough, because talking about steaks and stuff. So, is Barbara here?
Well, hello.
Well, good. Come on in. We'll have her. I was thinking you were going next week, but we'll get you in.
I wanted to visit with you.
I'm on right now.
This is live. We're doing it live.
Doing it live.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk with Barbara Gomez here from Main Street Roswell. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Just a slim chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm today. Our highs 100 to 105. Overnight, a few clouds, and we're in the upper 70s. About the same for Saturday. Just isolated afternoon showers and thunderstorms going up to about 100 again, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Then some scattered showers rolling through on Saturday night, sunny and slightly cooler on Sunday, mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support?
Clear.
With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
Yes, cannabis is legal in New Mexico. Know that there are helpful rules for responsible cannabis use. Yes, you should only buy from a licensed dispensary. Know that if you don't, yours might contain harmful substances. And yes, lock up all cannabis, safely away from kids and pets, in a safe place. And know that cookie jars are not good options. Know your yeses and nos about all things cannabis. From the State of New Mexico Cannabis Control Division. Go to yesandsnm.com.
Your favorite time of year is here. Time to get the pool ready. And Mays Lumber in Roswell is your BioGuard headquarters. They have regular chlorine, including pool generators, and Soft Swim by BioGuard for your non-chlorine products. Prepare and maintain your pool for summer the right way for a full season of smiles instead of headaches. Get your pool ready for summer with Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Church on the Move invites the community to celebrate One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. The celebration begins at 3 p.m., where the first 3,000 people will be treated to a festive picnic with mouth-watering brisket, sausage, and sides. Then, when the sun goes down, get ready to look up for the biggest drone show in Roswell's history, along with a bigger, better fireworks display to light up the night sky. Best of all, it's absolutely free. Celebrate America with Church on the Move and One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. See you there.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:24, and Barbara Gomez popping in from Main Street, Roswell, here to join us for a few minutes. Of course, good morning. How are you today? How's life? Are you all ready?
About as ready as I can be. I think right now we're still going to do some setups today.
Good deal.
So I'm going to be running up and down Main Street.
We're officially 1 week away.
We're officially 1 week away.
Yeah.
So some of you guys might see a few trucks already being parked on Thursday night because I have so many trucks that I have to place that the inspectors want to inspect them, and they said we don't have enough time to inspect, the convention center.
So they're going to come in early to get.
So we're going to start setting some up.
Legalities done and all that.
Get all that. Stuff. They won't be open, but they'll be set in their place, already inspected, ready to open up on Friday.
To flip the open sign and get to cooking, basically.
So it's an exciting time. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, don't forget, UFO Festival this year is an amalgamation of a bunch of things, and Main Street's kind of served as the glue this year.
Yes.
As kind of the conduit to connect everybody to everybody. So when you go to the UFOfestival.com website, that's got every single thing happening with all the different entities from UFO Festival. If you want to know what's going on downtown in the Main Street, you can find it there. If you want to know what the UFO Museum's doing, their stuff's there. If you want to know what's going on at Galacticon, their stuff's there. If you want to know what the Daily Record and their film festival, all of that stuff's there, and every little ancillary thing in between is on
everything
there
you can
too.
think about. And, of course, Juliana Halverson's also working with us. She's a city councilor, but she was the president of Main Street at one point. And she's worked with Main Street
in a lot of different places.
And on the UFO, she's worked on the Alien Fest for years. So she knows about as much as most people, if not more. It's more than me sometimes, but she's done all the graphics and she's helped us out with that.
Yeah.
And thank you to you guys here. Mornings with Mike, he lets us come, and we've also done advertisement here.
Yeah.
But just so you know, we're trying to cover all of our bases. So our radio, we're not only doing it in English, but we're also doing it in Spanish because this year we're going to have the cultural stage, which will be set on South 100 block.
Okay.
And that we will be playing more Hispanic music, more Hispanic bands.
So you want to see some like your Tejano and regional Mexican and
that's
some
right.
of the those artists. They're going to be kind of hanging out at that stage.
At that stage, along with some cowboy music. We're also going to have some mariachas that are actually going to be walking up, and they're going to sing part of the time, but they're also going to be walking up and down the street.
Perfect. Well, that's like a
Well,
it's
festival.
a party when you see guys dressed up in the mariachi outfits and the guitars, and they're walking around. A party's going on.
Yes,
That's just what that means.
If you have not looked at our website, when you go look at ufofestival.com, as soon as you get there, it's got pictures of alien mariachis wearing the whole mariachi outfit. But we're also bringing in a band or a group out of Las Cruces. They are like a military band. But really very interesting. They have their own mariachi, but we didn't have them this year.
Okay.
Their mariachis. But they have a New Orleans style band.
Okay.
And so they're going to be playing on Sunday, and they're going to be in the parade on Saturday.
So that might have a little like jazz mariachi fusion
jazzy,
mix kind of thing.
fun stuff.
Okay.
And they're also planning on just roaming around the main street and playing music and entertaining people.
So it's like the Big Easy meets mariachi.
Something like that.
Cool.
Something
That's
like
cool.
that.
All right.
Our main stage, of course, is going to be on the 500 block of Main Street. It's going to be facing south, and that's going to be a mixture of all kinds of music. There's going to have country. It's going to have some hip hop, some pop. It's going to have some fun stuff on there.
Good deal.
And Saturday night, our headliner is Alexandra Frescas. She's a well-known local person. She's actually from Roswell, who travels and is trying to make her break into, of course, being a big artist.
Okay.
But she just was part of the New Mexico Hip Hop Awards in Albuquerque.
Okay.
And
So
she got
she's
to
kinda
play
up
there.
and coming, and next time she might be too big for us. So
Next time she may not be. So if you want to watch her now, she is planning on having some backup dancers, some music behind her.
Cool.
We will be, and that'll be happening. That'll be happening Saturday after the parade.
Okay.
Okay. So after the parade, around 9:00.
So don't go home after the parade. Stick around for more fun and festivities.
We don't close until 10:00 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Of course, we close earlier.
Sure.
But you don't want to miss her. She's going to have a fire show right in front of her as well.
Oh, cool.
We have four. What are they called? Those things called foam parties. We're going to have 4 foam parties. 2 of them in the daytime, 2 of them at night.
Nice.
And the night ones are going to be really, really cool because they have black lights, and so it's going to be so much fun for kids.
More of the glow effect.
Yeah, the glow and the dark effect. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But, Mike, what we try to do this year is try to include a lot, and a big thank you to the city of Roswell and the lodger's tax, because they were able to provide us a little bit of sponsorship money to be able to set up some free activities that people don't have to pay for.
Okay.
I mean, it's sometimes tough for people that have 2 or 3 kids to pay $10 a ride.
Sure.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
So this will give them some free stuff they can do that doesn't, so you can, when you're hungry, you can go visit one of the many food vendors and get some food there.
Get some food and spend your money on food or on vendors.
Or shopping or
and
whatever.
Shopping up and down Main Street. So it's going to be all kinds of fun right there on the Pioneer Plaza. We are going to have 3 huge jumpies. One of them is, and they're all misting water. So if you get hot, you can go and slide on the slide.
Great.
But those are for free also.
Good deal. So really your best bet for everyone that wants to get involved in UFO Festival next weekend here is go to the UFO Festival website, ufofestival.com, and that's got
Schedules,
and that way
forms.
you can kind of plot and plan. You're like, okay, at 2:00 we need to be here, at 4:00 we need to be here,
good.
etc. And like I said, that way you can know what's going on at Galacticon. You know what's going on right here down in the Main Street corridor. Right. If you want to know what's going on with the Daily Record and film festivals, what time they're showing their films. All of it's right there, and you can.
And of course,
plan.
Clyde Lewis is going to be here.
Clyde's going to be doing.
Clyde Lewis is going to be in town. A big, very conservative radio.
Yeah, he's going to be doing panel speaking throughout the event. He's also doing his show live.
He's
learning
doing a podcast,
Friday night,
and he will be broadcasting live in Roswell
Friday night. I think from the convention center, but don't quote me on that.
Well, there's a schedule. He's going to be at the convention center. He's going to be on Main Street. One of the days you can go and visit with him right on the courthouse lawn, and he's also going to be at the UFO Museum.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal to have him
But I just learned
come.
last night that he's actually going to do a show live Friday from Roswell here.
Yes, he is.
Because it's Saturday. He doesn't do show. Thursday he won't be in town yet. Friday he will be in town, and he's going to do a show from here. And then there's no show on Saturday and Sundays. His regular shows, but his podcast and everything else.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great time, you guys. And those of you that have not signed up yet, we're still looking for more floats for the UFO parade.
So
it
sign
is
up.
again for free. All you have to do is sign up. This year we're starting at the Wool Bowl and coming all the way down to 3rd Street.
Okay.
And so that's free, and there's cash prizes for that.
And those are a lot of fun.
Oh, that's a lot of
fun. People get really into that and have a good time with it. So please sign up and then just have some fun and create your
and again
your best
and
UFO themed.
Sure, your float. And actually, if you want to do the human costume contest on Saturday, that starts at 6.
Okay.
And again, it's free.
Absolutely.
Again, with cash prizes. And when you get done doing your costume contest, you can have enough time to make it to get in the parade.
Get ready for the parade, yeah, absolutely. But it's going to be a fun weekend of stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, starting 1 week from today, next Friday, it all gets underway here right after the July 4th festivities and everything else. And come on out, and Friday through Sunday, it's just going to be 3 days of fun-filled stuff all up and down Roswell here. So
I'm telling you, we're going to have some fun food also, Mike, that I mean, it's really kind of hard because I wanted everybody on the courthouse lawn by me so I could have access to all this good food. But it's going to be up and down the whole drag, all the way down to Alameda.
Yeah.
But I have Indonesian food. Never had that.
Nice.
I have a lady that is from Carlsbad, but her company is based out of Florida.
Okay.
She's doing lobster rolls and crab rolls.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, we've got island noodles
So
here.
it's kind of like this is kind of like, you know, because I grew up in D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
in Maryland, D.C. area, and one of the blessings of D.C. is because it's such a melting pot with so many different cultures and nations, embassies and stuff. You know, even before it was popular to have multiple cultures of restaurant, now it's, you know, because it's a smaller world and things, but I grew up to, you know, there's an Indian restaurant, there's the Taiwan restaurant, there's you know, and our UFO Fest is kind of like that a little bit. It's like, you want some Mediterranean food? Let's go check this out. If you want some
I'm blown
Polynesian,
away.
here we go.
Kebabs. I mean, I'm having kebabs and rice and noodles and, of course, our ever favorite Mexican food and burritos and tacos.
There'll be enough green
gotta
chili to satisfy the biggest army.
I mean, roasted corn. I mean, what is it? The kettle corn. I will have about a couple of those kettle corns. I've got so much snow cones and lemonades. You cannot believe it. So you will not leave hungry. You will have so much fun. The fry lady will be there, the fry bread lady. So if you've never tried, Navajo fry bread, she will be there. Those are so delicious, you guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you don't do anything else, come down and eat with us,
Absolutely.
okay? And listen to
Plenty
music.
to eat. But again, I said we don't wrap up here, but UFOfestival.com has got everything, and of course we'll get Barbara in next week as we get updates and last minute additions and things that happen. You know, it's still we're only a week out, but I guarantee there's gonna be one or two things that get added last minute or something like that. It's just
everybody's calling saying, "Can I be a vendor? Can I be a vendor?" Gosh, guys, it's too late.
We're
for
the
me.
land of manana. That's just how our mindset.
I mean, up to me, I do it, but there's lots of permits you need.
There
that
is a lot
can't be
of
done.
balls that need to be juggled and put in place before you can just roll in to do your thing. Yeah. So, thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Mike,
we'll
for letting
talk
me
to you next
come.
week.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
and
you
again,
guys.
UFOfestival.com is the website to find everything for this year's UFO Festival, whether it's Galacticon stuff, Main Street stuff, Daily Record stuff, museum stuff, whatever it is, it's there on that website. So
thank you, guys.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
9:35, quick break, and then we're going to play our interview talking about the veterans and fireworks celebration tomorrow. Don't go away.
Church on the Move invites the community to celebrate One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. The celebration begins at 3 p.m., where the first 3,000 people will be treated to a festive picnic with mouth-watering brisket, sausage, and sides. Then, when the sun goes down, get ready to look up for the biggest drone show in Roswell's history, along with a bigger, better fireworks display to light up the night sky. Best of all, it's absolutely free. Celebrate America with Church on the Move and One Nation Under God this Saturday at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. See you there.
Calling all men. June is Men's Health Month, and Artesia General Hospital wants you to step up and take care of your health. Every year, thousands of men in the U.S. die from preventable diseases. Take control of your health today and schedule a visit before something is wrong. Artesia General Hospital has specialists in a variety of men's health disciplines, but your primary care provider is the best place to start. Take your health seriously for yourself and for your loved ones. Visit artesiageneral.com/men's health or call 575-746-3119.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. Or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
When others say no, Roswell Hyundai says
yes.
The bank manager is at Roswell Hyundai for a short time to say
yes.
No social security number or ITIN number?
Yes.
No driver's license?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Roswell Hyundai says
yes.
If you have a job that earns at least $12 an hour, Roswell Hyundai wants to say
yes.
Roswell Hyundai wants 100% approval, which means they want to say
yes
to you.
Yes.
Get zero down,
yes.
zero payments till fall,
yes.
plus up to $4,000 more for your trade.
Yes.
On now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Yes!
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio, Pastor Troy Smotherman and Jared Helms from Church on the Move. How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. How are you?
Good to hear it. It's been a week. It has definitely been a week trying to keep two radio stations on the air, but doggone it, we're making it work.
Well, we're out the we're listening to you get after it about the hot dog eating contest, and it looks like Netflix bailed your hero out.
Absolutely. There are only a few things in this world that I'm willing to get that passionate about, and competitive eating is absolutely one of those things.
Are you a competitive eater? I didn't know that about you.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm just a
okay.
fan. I'm just a fan. I'm just somebody who looks up to those people and says, maybe someday I could be that guy. I won't, but a man can dream, right?
That's right.
It is the summertime. Obviously, the temperatures are out of control, and we haven't even officially started summertime yet.
Oh, man.
Kids are out of school and driving us all crazy. How have things been over at Church on the Move?
Church on the Move is doing great.
Yeah?
Doing fantastic. Have people in and out for vacation, but man, it's been wonderful. Our whole purpose is to do what Jesus said to do, seek and save the lost. So people are getting saved and lives are being changed by their relationship with Jesus Christ. And so that's what we do. And then we have a bunch of stuff happening this summer.
Sure.
That's really super cool.
That's one of the best, the most amazing things about Church on the Move is the outreach that you guys have, that the hand that you reach out is such a wide net. You guys are able to cast such a wide net because you have the resources, we have the people, we have the passion. And that's what is required to make events like this happen. But once again, you guys are making everybody's summertime a little bit brighter.
Yes, in partnership with Constructables and Roswell Family Care with David and Annette Aguilar and some others, we are putting on our annual Veterans Dinner. I think this is our 21st year of doing that Veterans Dinner. I can't remember the exact year, but I know we've done it a long time. It's been many years. And we're doing that on the 29th. That's a Saturday, I believe.
Okay.
And we're partnered with these groups, and particularly Constructables that has sponsored our entire drone show and fireworks show.
Yes.
And is also doing feeding the first 3,000 people barbecue that will come out of the park starting at what time, Jared?
Starting at 3 p.m.
Okay.
So we've got an award-winning barbecue smoker rig that we're going to bring to town.
Oh, this thing's super cool.
We're going to set it up.
It's the Joey Chestnut of barbecue rigs.
It's going to be. Trust me. It's I think it's a 34-foot trailer.
Wow.
So smoker, it's all enclosed.
Nice.
We're going to set it up the night before. We're going to smoke everything on site.
If that thing's 34 feet long.
It's big.
I did not know that. That's huge.
That's a lot of cubic feet.
Yeah, we're going to cook 90 briskets.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's serious. We're feeding 3,000 people. We're coming to town to do it right.
Well, that's how you always do everything, Jared. That's how Constructables does things.
That's right. See, Jesus brings loaves and fishes. A few loaves and fishes feeds 5,000. We're feeding 3,000 with 34 feet of cubic steel. Love it.
And how many briskets?
I think it's 90 briskets.
That's amazing.
90. Can you cook all those at the same time in that cooker?
So we can cook like 60-something briskets,
Wow.
but we're actually bringing in 2 smokers, and so
Cooking
spread
them all
out.
at the-
Cook them
So-
all at the same time.
The trailer plus the 2 smokers.
Trailer that has my smoker plus another smoker plus another commercial smoker.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a time.
So the first 3,000 people out at Cielo Grande are going to be enjoying barbecue.
For free.
Absolutely.
For free and all the fixings too.
All the fixings. It's not just brisket. I'm going to misspeak here, but I think we've got sausage, brisket. I know we've got potato salad, some other things. So it's going to be good.
So it's a full meal.
Full meal.
Bring your own chair.
Bring your own chair.
We're not
Bring your own
supply-
blanket. Picnic style.
And maybe a little bit of your own shade.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's probably going to be a little warm.
A couple umbrellas would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, umbrellas are perfect.
So that's going to be now. That's not happening the same weekend, correct? The Veterans Dinner is June 29th, and then the drone show and fireworks show is happening
The same night.
day, same night.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're doing the Veterans Dinner. It starts at 5:30
Okay.
at Church on the Move. All free steak. We special order those steaks from Sam's. We've done this with them for years and years and years, so they know exactly what we want.
Mm-hmm.
We cook those ourselves, fresh right there, and so it's free steak dinner. And there's some other things happening at that too that also Constructables sponsored. They sponsored the entertainment. Well, one of the speakers that night, which is Chad
Robichaux. So Chad is the founder of Mighty Oaks, which supports veterans, PTSD, veterans suffering from PTSD, specifically targets suicide, the suicide rates in veterans. Absolutely. And so Chad has helped, I don't know how many thousands, like 50,000 people through his organization. So he has a great testimony. He's going to come to town and share, and then
he's going to stay with us Sunday morning and also talk to our church.
Awesome.
He's a Special Operations Force Recon Marine in DOD contract. He had 8 deployments to Afghanistan as part of a Joint Special Operations Task Force, and he's a winner of the Medal of Valor.
Yeah.
Chad is, and he also was an MMA champion. This guy's a stud, but he ran into some serious issues as a result of his deployments.
Sure.
That was ending his marriage and was going to end his life.
Right.
And that's why he focuses so much on suicide. But he's going to come speak to our veterans that night for about 15, 20 minutes, and then he's going to stay over and be at our church for the next for 3 services on that following Sunday on the 30th.
It's such a relief that and granted it's so little, at the beginning, but that finally some attention and some focus is being put on the mental health aspect of military service and deployment. I mean, so for so many years it was just, thank you for your service, go about your business.
Yes.
And now finally there's, the resources are being put in place and people are actually listening to and giving credence to, these soldier stories.
Yeah, it's great. If you take Chad's story, I mean, he did 8 tours in Afghanistan. And so somebody to go serve so much, it's natural. They're going to come home with some stuff. They're going to bring some things home.
Yeah.
And the government, the communities they've come a long ways to help these guys out. So much different atmosphere than it used to be.
And I don't think it's any better than someone who has gone through that, gotten their life right, and been saved. Basically, Jesus saved his life, his relationship with Jesus, and then to reach back out. I think that's what makes life worth living, is when you have that relationship with Jesus, and then you turn your trauma, your issues around, and help others. And that's what God does. That's what He does.
He put him in that position to have those experiences so that he could have the outreach and help the people that he helped. It's amazing to see how God works.
It is, and he's a passionate dude. You can't not be passionate and be a Marine first of all, and then do 8 tours as special recon, and then to be an MMA champion.
I was like throwing down at the octagon requires some passion.
Yeah,
sure.
He's got the cauliflower ears and all, man.
He does, and he's about 5'2", I think.
Yeah, he's not a big
he's short.
guy.
He's short, but he carries a presence that he's like 6'5".
Well, he's got
for
that
sure.
bulldog in him, right?
He does.
He is. He's like a bulldog. Man.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
it's going to be fun. I've never met him. I don't know if you've met him.
For sure,
You've met him.
He goes to my church in the Woodlands.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, he's. I'm excited to meet him, and so then we also at Veterans Dinner we always have some entertainment for our veterans. So not only do we have Chad speaking, but we have Rhett Walker coming in. Rhett Walker's a country music guy, and also a Christian guy, and so he won the 3-time Dove Award nominee and winner for When Mercy Found Me, the song When Mercy Found Me. And I'm telling you, I've had a lot of people come to our church, and I've met other people around the country that do stuff that are semi-famous or semi-famous. He's one of my favorite people. He's number one. He's hilarious. He's so entertaining and funny, but he's so down to earth. He's one of the most down to earth people I've met in a long, long time.
Are you familiar with the comedian Shonda Pierce?
Shonda? Yeah.
Yes. So the end of her special on Netflix, Enough, she actually comes out with her and her opening act, and they duet When Mercy Found Me.
Rhett Walker?
Shonda Pierce and her opening act. I can't remember exactly. It was another young lady.
Wow, really?
And they came out and they belted out that song, and it is. I mean, I got goosebumps just thinking about the performance. It's so.
I gotta look that up.
It's such a good. Like, shockingly, Shonda has a incredible voice for being a comedian. You know, those people. You laugh at.
Yeah.
She's a killer singer.
You know, some of those people. You know, when I used to a long time ago when I used to watch Saturday Night Live, when all the Bill Murray and all, some of them can carry a tune, and some of them could sing, you know. And so some comedians have those other gifts, but that's cool. I'm going to look that up.
But it's an amazing song, and so that's going to be happening same night right there at the Veterans Dinner.
Yeah, we threw it all together.
Right,
we got something for everybody essentially. Yeah.
And then for the whole city, we want to invite the whole city out. You know, Constructables and with a little help from us are going to feed 3,000 people, and then. We're doing the drone show and fireworks show. We did it last year. We had thousands and thousands of people out. But I tell you, this year, it is better, bigger than ever.
Last year was the first full-on drone show I've ever actually attended and gotten to see. It is one of the most intense experiences because when you see things that high up in the sky with that intricate of a design and being that still, I got vertigo. Like I had to like steady myself, you know. Are you kidding me? Who's now my girlfriend? I had to grab her shoulder, like steady myself because I was getting vertigo looking up. But it's an incredible.
You guys are real close to it, though. You guys were almost on top of it.
We really were right there.
But it was. I've never seen a complete. You know, I've seen some on television or whatever, but never live. It blew my mind.
It did. Yeah, it was
now
impressive.
The fireworks were good, but weren't as good as I wanted them to be. We had a different company doing those, but this year the drone people are doing the fireworks too.
Okay,
so they're combined. It's gonna be. I wish I could tell you some stuff, but I want to keep some surprises.
Sure,
it's gonna be the best fireworks display that we've ever put on. So
awesome.
We took that to a whole nother level.
I like a good fireworks show because you can kind of tell a story. But with that drone show, you can tell a full narrative.
It is.
And I love that. You can, paint a picture in the sky, and through the loudspeakers, you can tell a full story.
And my staff and I, we wrote that. We wrote that last year, and we wrote that this year. And we say, this is what we want. We give it to them, and they make it happen.
That's awesome.
They create it. It's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's crazy the way technology has exploded like that. But
so last year was how many drones was last year compared to this year?
I think we've added 75 more or 100 more. I can't remember.
Okay,
it's like 250 to 350. So we added them. We got all of their drones. Every drone they have, they're bringing this year. So it's going to be even a little more intricate.
Yeah. So it's like 300 drones this year. So
and we used a couple, like 2 or 3 of the same images last year because they were so good.
Right.
So. And then next year, if we do it again, we'll change the whole thing. But it's pretty cool.
One of the most fun parts about it is that initial, all of them just woo, and then they rise up and they get into formation. It's just such a cool experience from start to finish. That's awesome.
And we gotta. I wish I could tell you how we begin. So we combine because we're doing the the fireworks are done by the drone show people. We would have done this last year too, but they couldn't do it. They'd already had their fireworks people already signed a contract, and so we got them this year. But they combined the drones with the fireworks a little bit. And the beginning of it, I wish I could tell you, but it's the beginning of it. I don't know if you've ever seen gas bombs. You've never seen gas bombs?
I don't know.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen gas bombs?
No, I haven't.
Oh, hey, listen, I saw those for the first time, and I said, I like blowing stuff up. You know, I just want to. I'm a pastor and all that. But,
Pastor / pyromaniac.
Yeah, I'm at least explosive. I like blowing stuff up, and so this is the best explosion I've ever seen at a fireworks display. And you got to come see it. And how we set it up is really super cool. And so, anyway,
I'm very
come
excited
see this drone show and fireworks show. It's phenomenal.
And that's all getting underway. Starting at 3 with food and stuff. We're gonna have obviously some milling about time. And then once the sun goes down, that's when we'll start getting things going with the drone show and some of the other stuff.
Yeah, and usually it goes around 9 to 9:30. And of course, we have to. Last year we started a little bit later than that because of the wind. Yeah. We had to wait for the wind to die down. And so, everybody pray with us that we have a very light wind and a beautiful evening. Yeah. And so, but come on out and enjoy the barbecue. If you're the 3,001st person, you don't get any. Bring your own. Bring your own food. Come out to the park. Let's all have fun. Let's all have a great time.
Absolutely.
And of course, you guys will be out there with us. And so, there'll be a narrative to the drone show and music to the fireworks, and that they can listen to on your station.
Yes, sir.
And so we always are glad to have y'all's partnership in that. And it's just going to be a great whole day celebrating our veterans. And we're celebrating our veterans all month long in the month of June. And so we do something 7 days a week for our veterans all the month of June because we believe that they are the true heroes in the month of June. They are the ones we should be celebrating. And that's why we do that.
Before we part ways, let me get that list from you because I know we had that last year and we talked about it a lot on the air about the different things you guys are doing every day. I know it was like some was yard work for veterans.
Yes.
There's some other services that you are providing. As long as you can provide your DD-214, they'll provide these services for you free of charge. And it's all throughout the month of June. Trash pickup, I believe, one day. Yard work, I think, is
well, we have yard work. We have pest control. We've partnered with Enchanted Pest Control. Joe and Sookie Green partnered with us. They've done it last year. They do that 1 day a week. They schedule free pest spraying. Valley Cafe does something. Gosh, I can't remember. There's an ice cream. I have to get you the list, and we're advertising it. So we'll put that out. And I'd like to remember some of our other sponsors that are providing services during that week.
So yeah, veterans, and we're still, we're right about the middle of the month. I used to have plenty of time. Veterans take advantage of these services. That's what they're there for. Tell me a little bit about Constructables, about your company.
We're an industrial building contractor. Okay. We're based out of the Woodlands, Texas. I'm from Roswell. Moved to the Woodlands in 2017.
Okay.
And we're nationwide. We build buildings across the U.S.
Mostly for industrial use.
Mostly servicing the energy sector. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know Jared. Jared is the one that is the contractor and the one that helped us build the children's portion of our building, KOTM, and then also he did the refurbishment on our 180 building, our youth building, and that's how we got to know each other before that.
Right.
Actually, as just in a ministry setting, and so but we've known each other a very long time and done a lot of things together, and I just so blessed that he moved away. Though his family lives in the Woodlands, but yet he still cares about his hometown, Roswell. And still wants to sow, and this is a huge amount. This is no little deal that he's sowing into our community through his company, and so I just want to thank you, Jared. He still cares about Roswell, still cares about what's happening in New Mexico, even though he's betrayed us and moved to Texas. Moved across
this
the border.
Is the conversation.
I thought it was funny. The way he started that sentence was, "I'm so blessed that Jared moved away from us." I'm like, where are you going with this? Well, thank you so much, Jared.
I have to give him a hard time, dude, about leaving us, but he hadn't forgotten about us, and it really, truly blesses my heart that he still cares about the community he was born and raised in, and still participates.
Absolutely, and it's awesome to see somebody, you know, when people have a heart for an organization like Church on the Move, because Church on the Move, I mean, you guys do so much throughout the year for the communities, whether it's the backpack giveaways, the back to school bash celebrations, all the different things you guys do for veterans and for local charities. I mean, Church on the Move is not a church that's sitting still. You guys are, it's literally in the name.
On the move.
You're on the move.
Yeah.
You guys are making things happen. You're impacting Roswell.
Well, one of our core values is we're blessed to be a blessing. And, you know, and you know what's crazy is people think that we just showed up like that. No, you know, we started off serving hamburgers and hot dogs in Pocorn Park.
Oh, I remember. I was part of one of the first years that you guys did Church on the Move in 180. I was in that class.
Were you really?
Yeah, I went to...
I forget that.
I was at 180 back when you guys had N64s and PlayStation 1s. I remember playing...
That's how you date that. Is
I remember playing GoldenEye on the N64 with my bud Eric Longo in the...
Eric!
In the playroom side of 180 before we went to the sanctuary. But yeah, I mean, you guys, you started off, you know, kind of, in a small space, and you just kept expanding and growing and growing.
And the reason we have is because we keep on sowing and sowing and sowing. And that's what we're supposed to do as Christians, is take what God's blessed us with and sow it into others.
Yeah, I want to say, I mean, we firmly believe in strength and community, and we've modeled that after Church on the Move for sure. I mean, they've been a great model for us in everything that we do and give back.
Absolutely.
So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for Jared. I'm very grateful for David and Annette Aguilar in their clinic here. Not only do they help us physically, but you know they sow into that veterans dinner, and basically they pay for that dinner. And so, and then we have another guy he's a veteran. He likes to remain nameless, but he actually paid for Rhett Walker to come in. And so, but the Constructables also sponsored Chad Robichaud. And so it's just amazing to have other people partner with us. And we really, we could do it, but I'm telling you, it would be a stretch for us to pull this off without them. And it's so awesome to have people that care that much and willing to invest and sow. And so it's incredible.
Yeah. Absolutely. So it's all going down June 29th. The dinner for the community starts, and that's at Cielo Grande, beginning at 3:00 p.m. The veterans dinner begins at 5:30.
I think the doors open
at Church on the Move. That'll be, and then once the veterans dinner kind of wraps up, you can make your way back over to Cielo Grande, and then we'll have the drone and the fireworks show. I'll tell you this: it's a great weekend for veterans. It's a great weekend for our community. It sounds like it's a bad weekend to be a cow. Steaks over at Church on the Move, 87 briskets over at Cielo Grande.
500-600 steaks. So
if you're an Angus or Brangus in the area, run, because they're coming for you.
Yeah, it's a great day to own cows and sell cows.
That's right. That's right.
There's a lot of cows gave their lives for our benefit.
Hey, all
gave
some.
Great.
All gave some, but some gave all. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're all delicious. So June 29th, various locations around Roswell, Church on the Move, and of course Cielo Grande for the drone show and the fireworks show that's going to be happening, as well as free barbecue. If folks want more information about the event, if they want to reach out, maybe they want to make a donation or help out the organization, how do they find you?
Well, just call Church on the Move. Just call Church on the Move and contact us, and we have more information. And there's going to be tons of advertising running on your station, lots of advertising running on the times, the event, everything that's going on. So if they listen here and or call the church, they can find it, or go to our website. We have the information on our website as well. Absolutely.
It's all there waiting for you. So, get excited, folks, because it was a little bit of a lull in Roswell with fireworks and with excitement around the 4th around that area. But with Church on the Move stepping up and with folks like Jared, this is, it's bringing the community back together again.
For sure.
It's awesome to see it. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate you. And I'm sure we'll have you on one or two more times between now and then to talk it up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. 14 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with some local news.
Significant to come before the High Court in decades on the issue. It comes as a rising number